How's it going? Another live stream. I keep thinking everybody's going to get sick of doing the live stream, so I made sure to get the Christmas video out today, so I balance it out a little bit. But you guys say you're not sick of them, so here I am again. Hello, Amanda. Good to see you, and Tanya and Ma'am Fan. Good to see you guys. Storms are here. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. We'll give a little while for people to join in. Ooh, ad. Oh, ad started now, huh? I didn't realize it would start that way. Hey there, Tora. Hey there, everybody. I'm Monkey Slovandani. Slovdani? It's a neat name. 4:31 in the morning, huh? Let's see. So, what does that put you in? The UK? I'm trying to figure out where all the time things is. Hi, everybody. Double feature. That's right. Hi there. Singapore. I haven't heard that one. Oh, UK. I got it right. Is this live now? Yes, this is right now. You can tell because I read your comment. It's not pre-recorded. So many people think that they'll catch the live on the replay and think that it's live then, and I feel bad for them. How old is Eden? Eden is 9. Doing pretty good. Have you made hamburger balls lately? My kids love them. I've been wanting to. It's been on my list. I've got hamburger thawed in the fridge. I'm not sure how long you can leave hamburger thawed in the fridge. It's been there a day and a half, 2 days. I think it's okay still. So I need to use that up and make some more hamburger balls. Because I think I can do it good. Grandpa Kenny is the one who started hamburger balls, Andrea's grandpa. And before he died, he told her the recipe. And so she's been doing it. But I've always thought they were not quite as good as Grandpa's was. So I'm hoping I can get them down better. I remember him saying, keep putting salt. When you think you put too much, just keep putting a little more. So, Christmas video is really good. Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. It was enjoying. Buffering in Southern Illinois. Sorry about that. Hopefully it's not us. I don't think it is. She was feeling a little sad tonight. Eden was. So I made her an ice cream cone and just sat and we watched some try not to laugh videos and cheer her up a little bit. Watching the video of Andrea's birthday when you tried to jump on the picnic table. My Judah just semi nailed it. Oh, I think maybe it is us. I'm getting a message that we're dropping some frames. So it might be on our end. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it balances out here. Yeah, that video made Andrea crack up royal. Of course, when it happened, she laughed like crazy. In my mind, I could do that jump. Could have done it so easy when I was younger. I might be able to do it now. I've lost like 35 pounds. Maybe I could do it. Might have to go back and revisit that. And then when we'd watch the video, she'd watch it on the replay, and no matter how many times we watch it, she would crack up just like it just happened. Okay now? Okay, good. Hi there, Jane. Virginia so many times from Andrea. Yep, she's a wonderful person. I sure miss her. I still haven't gotten quite over that cold we've had. It's been 2 months. I mean, it's still, I'm basically fine, but got a little bit of runny nose, and I cough every now and then. I can't believe it. More drop frames. So, is it still messing up on your guys' end? I'm awful sorry if that's the case. I might have to produce a quality one of these times here. How am I doing today? I think I'm okay. I had a dull ache hard most of the day, but towards the evening I started to feel a little better. But it's nice to get to talk to you guys. It really helps me to be able to talk to you. So I'm glad that you guys like it. I keep thinking it doesn't seem like it's too good to be true. It's funny, when I first started doing these random live streams, I thought I'd just do them live and then I'd take them down. But everybody wants to watch them. I can't believe that. Still eating those dotted bears. I love them, but eat them one at a time though. Yeah, Brenda, I think you're right. Maybe the same thing. I bet you it's all over Yeah, the hamburger balls. There's a video on the channel on it. So if you do Andrea or Mills family hamburger balls, is toffee gone? No, it's still there. I don't understand why you love the live streams. Why do you love the live streams? That's my question. Why do you guys like that? I love doing them. They make me feel good to talk, have people to talk to, and to share my pain and stuff. And then I really like talking to you guys. Are those like nerd ropes? I mean, they're kind of texture like nerd ropes, but the flavor is just way better than a nerd's rope. It's real life. That's true. Yeah, Vicks Vapor in a jar there. I don't have any here, but we could probably get some. Amy just said she was going to get us a diffuser for her essential oils humidifier thingy. And I saw she left that here, so love it because we get to interact. Better than watching a video. I think I'm a wonderful person. Oh, well, thank you, Colleen. Nice to talk with others and fun to watch your family. Thank you. Less lonely and welcomed and understood here. Well, that's basically why I like to do them. Just happy with you and grieving with you, just like family. That's the truth. I love that. Single mom, 2 girls, and evenings are lonely. Right? Ari, I totally agree. That is me as well. You are honest, kind, and wise. Oh, hi, Cynthia. Stimulates the mind. Well, thank you. I still don't get it. We've created a community. Andrea created the community. Did I tell you guys that? I think I did. I probably did on a video, but one of the last things that she had said to me in the hospital was there were 2 things she thought about getting rid of that might make her family it would help streamline things. And in a big family, in a small house, you're always thinking, ooh, there's some space up in the corner, maybe I can use that. Well, maybe if we got rid of this activity, we would have more time to do this. And maybe if we instead combine these 2 activities, we were always streamlining everything and trying to make it the most efficient. Me and Andrea love efficiency. I loved efficiency, and I kind of infected her with it. But she said that the 2 things that she was thinking about getting rid of were the 2 things that she was most grateful for now, and that was the Samaritan Ministries and the YouTube channel, because they would be here for me. And that made me feel really good. And at that point, I didn't think she was going to die. But husband sleeps and the boys stay in the room with other families are far away. I like the company of everyone talking. Yeah, I love it too. It's like like we're just hanging out. It's like a virtual lounge. Baby shark in my head. Yep. Did you see it on the Christmas video when she points at do, pointing to the shark on the back? That was so cute. Any of the kids dating? I'm not supposed to say that stuff. Possibly. I'm alone, but not lonely. Just care and concern for you all. Well, thank you. Imagine that comes through time. I'm alone and lonely. Andrea was so right. Yep. The only reason why Andrea thought about those things is Samaritan Ministries, we had paid into it for years and years and years and never used it. So she thought, why do we even need to use it? We don't need it. And of course, then we did. And then the YouTube channel, only because it took a lot of time. She says that she always thought in the back of her mind, it takes a lot of time to do this. Maybe if I had more time for this, but I really want to do it, and I really think it's important. And so she had that kind of struggle, and she wasn't ever seriously talking about it, but she thought about it. I don't know how serious she was. She didn't say, but people don't just hang out and talk anymore. That's why I like it here. Well, that's what we're absolutely doing. I absolutely love it. Andrea knew best. She sure did. She was so smart. I loved her. Still love her. Hi there, Karen. Good to see you. Hi, Kathy. Alone and lonely. Yep. Solidarity. You don't know how refreshing it is to know a family like yours. It's so funny. I hear that sometimes, and it's just like, we're just our family. We're not any different. But then I see other families, and I realize we are different. I love how real you are. That's wonderful. Samaritan Ministry is such a great program. YouTube Ministry is actually a very amazing thing. It is. The Samaritan Ministry thing has been amazing. I have gotten, I don't think 100, 30, 40, 50 cards with the payments people send us for the Samaritan Ministries and all kinds of things. We have people send us extra money, people who found the channel as a result of the need. Because what happens when you do the Samaritan Ministries, you don't pay your premium, you don't pay your monthly fee to an organization, you pay it to real people. And so you get a letter saying, this month you give your money to this people. They are going through this struggle. They need prayer for these items, and you can send your payment here. And so you're supposed to send a note or a card or something. And so we have people that said that they saw the need of Andrea dying with having 9 kids and all that. And they did a Google search and found her on YouTube and started watching. And other people sending us extra money and things and all kinds of nice cards. And it's really been comforting and nice. Who was the lady in the past couple of videos? My mom. I had a few people that thought it was my new lady. But nope, that's my mom. When is the next Predators Program Convention? That's going to be in, I think it's in June, I think. Look forward to your New Year's Eve video. Do you think you might live stream this year? I absolutely thought about it. I think that might actually be a fun idea. So, might do that. Get some regular footage too. Do you ever find eating a swimsuit? We're kind of thinking there's going to be some swimsuits in the mail. I'm fairly certain from all you guys. I ordered some, ordered one, and then other people ordered them. I got a bunch of message people that are trying to send them, and so we're leaning on that happening. And if not, we'll do t-shirt and shorts thing. So, hello, Candace. Hello, Lisa. Oh, hey, 20 Twin Mom. How you doing? Oh, is my mom here? My kids just lost their interest. How do I sign up with Samaritan Ministries? I think it's just Samaritan.org, or if you just Google Samaritan Ministries, you'll find it. It's a pretty neat program. You got to jump through a lot of hoops. It's pretty neat. Since it's a private company, they can exclude anybody they want. You have to answer all kinds of questions. Do you drink? Do you smoke? I think those things maybe are okay, but it influences what happens. And you have to go to church. You have to get a note from your pastor and stuff like that. I think it's absolutely great. Hi, Jolene. And Arwin, that sounds like a cool elf name. He's going to have 20 suits. Isn't that neat, though? I just think it's neat. And I know it's in the extras, and obviously we can't keep a million bathing suits. We have very limited room as it is, but it's just so neat that everybody cares so much. It's so nice. Love watching you interact with your children. Thank you for sharing your family's lives with us. Pray for you and your family every day. I know that Andrea is watching over you all. I sure hope so. Hands down, what's the best thing you can cook? Oh man, that's a hard one. Best is such a nondescript defined word. Is best what's most popular? Is best what tastes the best to me? So I don't know. Most popular, probably cinnamon rolls. My parents are Tolkien fans. That is awesome. That is awesome. I thought it sounded like an elf name. I thought maybe you'd be offended, but I was straight up right. The pizza is really good. Yep. Pizza and cinnamon rolls. Hey, Tora. Yep. If we have extra suits, they will definitely be donated. So we're not going to throw away things that we get from people. It's very much a blessing. I make good cinnamon rolls if I do say so myself. The secret's in the frosting, though. Cinnamon rolls, they're top notch, but it's the frosting that makes them really good. What's your favorite sport? Again, in relation to what? My favorite sport to play, to watch? Favorite sport to play? You can laugh at me, but badminton. I lettered in badminton in high school, and I love badminton. It's super fast. It's like the video game sport. It's like a sport, but it's kind of like video games, and highly competitive and really fast, and I absolutely love it. But as far as, I haven't done it in a long time. Hi, Sarai. Ew, badminton. Oh, badminton's so fun. I was so good at it. Magic card game is Tom best sport. Yeah, that might be. That might be. Are you using your tripod? Haven't touched it yet. The older kiddos use TikTok. I want to say no, but it wouldn't surprise me if they got it. Probably Thomas has got it. Lettered badminton. Yep, it is huge in India. Yep, and China, and half the team was Korean. So and they're I don't know why they're really good at it, and it was fun. There was a guy who was better than me, and he was Korean, and he was big. He weighed a lot more than me. And I always was surprised how he could be so fast and be so big. I was totally jealous. Following your channel for a while. Blessings to you. Well, nice to meet you, my little domestic church. Did you get snow today? No, we didn't. We were supposed to, but we didn't. Love your yard. It's like a park with lots of activities for the kids. That was Andrea's entire thing. That's what she wanted. So, hi, Just Judy. I like to make some kids some things. How do I find out what color belongs to what kid? Well, it starts with Thomas, and he's blue. So if you just look at the rainbow order after that, that's the order. And when you run out, you go to light colors. So Thomas is blue, Asher's purple, Judah's red, Justus is orange, Eden is yellow, Solomon's green, Sophia is light blue, Claudia is light purple, Hannah's light red or pink. How the kids doing with homeschooling? Has anything changed with her passing? Not really. The curriculum is good. They've been doing it a long time. We've had to figure out how to do the privilege levels and do the logistics of how we do things, but I think Rachel copies and pastes. Rachel's very efficient. It wouldn't surprise me if she copies and pastes. She answers a lot of the same questions, and she can do it really fast. She's probably got a nice copy-paste thing. Maybe she doesn't. We found ACE via this channel, and my kids love it. Oh, ACE is great. It's great. It's all good. Every homeschool curriculum is good. So this one's good. It's easy. It's Christian-based, and it doesn't wear the mom out. And not wearing the mom out is highest on my priority list. You don't got to know a lot of stuff. You think, I can't homeschool. I've never been a teacher. You don't have to be a teacher. You can do it with this curriculum. It's very easy, very simple, very nice. Oh, look, they typed it all out. Thank you for doing the Bible study. It has helped me more understanding on a lot of things. God bless your family. That's wonderful. We're typing on an old typewriter with whiteout. Well, yep, dating yourself there. I think I took keyboarding in school. You celebrate the Epiphany. You're so glad to try a king cake. I haven't done it, and I am ashamed to know that I'm not sure what that is. Is it going to be... I don't know what that is. You have to tell me. How will a kappa affect your channel? It shouldn't affect it at all. I think the whole thing's been overblown. Can't wait to see the kids get into those big balloons. They'll get into. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. I keep thinking I'm going to go. They have the old gym. They closed the old school down and sold it to the town. The town rents stuff out. So kind of thought about going and renting the old gym and letting them do it in there because I'm worried about them poking it in the snow and ice and stuff and popping them. Is there a Bible study this week? Well, yeah, next Wednesday there'll be one. Wait a minute, is that New Year's Day? It is, huh? Yeah, but it'll be in the evening. So yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm sure we'll do well. First time doing the live chat in your bedroom? No, I think it's like the third one. Bedroom, I can lock the door, and I just feel comfortable. This is where I'm at, and this is my side of the bed, and I just feel comfortable here. And I don't know, it's a good place to get away. I was thinking today, where else could I go to be fun? But I don't get to relax as much as right here, and I just kind of need it. Is that Andrew's hair in the back? Yeah, it is. Yep. I touch it all the time, and every time someone mentions it, I touch it again. It reminds me to touch it. I wish I had more of it. I regret not telling them to hack it all off. Right before he closed the casket, could you just cut all our hair off? I would have totally done that. I should have done that. You ever met with a consultant or expert on your channel? It's actually organically good. What if a consultant could help streamline it all? No, but Andrea did I don't remember the guy's name, but he had a video series called 30 Days to a Better YouTube Channel. And she did that early on. And I think that helped. But watching you wrap Christmas gifts was oddly satisfying. Well, I'm glad we did that then. I honestly, I only did that because it was so easy. Lives are so much easier. I don't have to edit them. I don't have to upload them. I don't have to do nothing. I just do it. And it's so easy. And I think people really liked it. It was the real time and got to talk and hang out. And of course, that's all I was wanting to do was be able to talk because I'm always in pain. I'm always not feeling good. And I'm sad and lonely. And this is the worst thing I've ever gone through. But I'm so grateful. So when I talk to you guys, all I can focus on is what's going on. I'm totally distracted and I forget everything. And I meet lots of great people and lots of nice messages from people. And I've got to get close to people. And it's been a lot of fun. All American Homestead Zach did his wife's memorial tonight. She passed away of cancer. Yep, I know. I went in there and left a comment. And you got to stick together. This guy's got to stick together. Didn't you saw the boys' solid states? Yes, we did. Well, we installed Asher's, and he's got it all up and going. He's loving it. All of his games are loading so much faster. And Thomas hasn't done his yet. Livestreams got me through the holidays. Felt like it was sharing for the family again, like it used to be many years ago. Wow, I don't understand. I'm grateful you guys love them. I really like them. They really make me feel better. Like I'm basically a wreck all day, and I'm thinking I can't wait to go do a live stream. How many live streams can I do in a row without people starting to complain? And I do get complaints, but they just make me feel so much better. And like I said, I get to meet all kinds of people. I'm very grateful for that. Shirt doesn't match the wall tonight. Yeah, I'm not camouflaged in. Eden enjoy her reborn baby? Yes, I haven't seen her playing with it lately, but yeah, she does. Seem energetic tonight. Do I? I'm excited to be on. If you'll do them whenever, even when you're healed more. Yeah, me too. Green is a good color for Tom. It complements his complexion. My complexion's green, you're saying, huh? Who would complain? I don't. People complain. There's always people that complain. Live stream helps me with depression. Wow. Hey there, Cynthia. I am not that strong. Will you bake a baby in the cake? Andrea left the channel as a gift to you. I absolutely think that. Absolutely think that. We talking about that king cake, maybe? I missed that. I have pancreatic cancer. What can I do to make things easier for my family? Wow, that's a heavy question. Let me think. You're lucky in some aspects that you know now, and I'm not saying you're going to die or whatever. I don't know what the outlook is on that is, but what I had wished that Andrea had talked to me more about it directly. Apart from that time where she said she was glad that I have Samaritan Ministries on the YouTube channel because they'd be there for me, she never mentioned directly. I always wanted her to tell me, you're going to be okay, you can do this. Don't forget to do this, don't forget to do that. You know, she was close to death. We were down in the ICU, going to be transferred away, and I said something about I was worried about paying the bills. I still didn't think she was going to die at that point. And I was worried about paying the bills. And she said, well, bring him over here. We'll pay the bills right now. And she's all sitting up in bed. He wants me to bring her the bills. And of course, I said, no, lay back down. But anyways, that's the thing I would wish. I wish she had told me more, specifically talked to me, and told me I'm going to be all right and all that. Instead of just denying that she was going to die, I did that for too long. And it all happened really fast. But I wish we had known earlier that she was going to die, or believed it rather, so we could have talked more seriously. You know, the whole deathbed words thing. I miss having that. Is cancer run in your family? No, not that I know of. Not on my side. But now I realize that it runs on her side. We didn't know this will be the thing that we all know from. I don't know. I think she would be proud of me, but I'd love to have heard her say it. How far is the Walmart? It's 30 minutes away. I had to go in an ambulance. 100. That went way fast. Do you think somehow she had a sense that she was going to pass? Eventually she did. I have the video footage of when they told us. I just wanted to get some video because I was thinking she wasn't going to make it. And so I just had the video running, and they told us that I'm going to level with you. She's going to die, and soon. And he told us the whole thing. I'm really sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then he left. And then Andrea said something like, I want to go home. We're going to get better and get better with herbs and take stuff. And I said, Andrea, he just said you're going to die. And she said, no, he didn't. Bring him back in here. And she was, of course, out of it at that point. But I got all that on video. You'll never see it. I won't be showing it to you. But there is a clip I will show you guys I'm really excited about, but I haven't done it. But there's a clip where it was a few days before that, Wednesday, I think, in the hospital, and she was feeling totally fine, talking with the nurse about our channel and everything, and our kids, and how much she loves our kids, talking about Judah specifically and doing his armor and stuff, and she's so proud of him. It's a really good clip. You'll get to see that one of these days. What type and what stage you're paying? Oh, let's see. They're not talking to me. How long's Andrew in the hospital? By the streams, it all seems so fast. Yeah. 10 days? Something like that. A little less. And she knew something was wrong with her body. Yeah, I don't know. She's had pain off and on her whole life, and her mom did too. Of course, I think it's probably now I think it's all related, but we didn't know it then. But what were her first symptoms? Well, looking back, I would say the back pain she had for a long time might have been related. But of course, if it's inflammatory breast cancer, which pretty sure that's what it was, that kind of thing happens so fast. So if it's possible it wasn't inflammatory breast cancer, it all happened so fast it was hard to know, and she didn't have any lumps or anything. So her lymph nodes were swollen, and I guess that happens for that. So we're not absolutely sure, but it could have been the back. Was there a troll? I missed it. Oh, is the video off center? No. Oh, now it is. I didn't see anything I didn't see anything to be upset about anyways. Yeah, this is Andrea's hair. Adam cut it off. Are you toffied out? Yeah. What's your dreams for your kids? All that I want is for them to grow up and find godly spouses and have lots of kids, and teach them how to get godly spouses and have lots of kids. That's what I want. Inflammatory causes really bad redness and rashes. I was reading about it. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm not sure. It could have been something else. What's curious is how fast it happened. So She had pain for a while, like I said, a month before, but it really went really fast when it happened. I see it. So far I don't. Not sure what was said before, but how are you handling dinner time since you are back working? Mostly it involves forgetting about making dinner and then remembering, oh crud, I got to make dinner, and then thinking of something to make for dinner. 23rd, my sister Tammy had a biopsy done because they were trying to figure out what type of breast cancer she has. Sometimes inflammatory shows no signs. Yeah, that's what I saw too. And they did MRIs and all kinds of stuff, and nobody saw any lumps. So, and she didn't have any lumps. I mean, I would have known. She would have known. And, you know, that wasn't a deal, so. It's the speed at which it happened and the fact that she had the swollen lymph nodes that point to the inflammatory breast cancer. A great time, one day at a time. Well, yeah, I guess. Do you believe in the herbs? I got a mixed bag with it. I definitely believe in herbs. I know herbs are beneficial. You know, aspirin is an herb. You know, science has kind of taken that away from the herb zone and put it into, you know, science zone. But that's a natural herb, and there's lots of them that absolutely do work. That having been said, some of them I have my doubts about. You know, something for everything necessarily. But I do know that they are effective. I mean, it's hard to know what is and what isn't because science won't acknowledge them. But God give you grace. Yes, may He do that. There's traces of aspirin in the apple. Probably. Aspirin is quite a miracle thing, honestly. It does a lot of really neat things. Will the kids eat chili? Chili is so easy to make. A couple of them. Not enough to make it worth a dinner. I've got to have 85% saturation in a dinner, with room to make peanut butter sandwiches after that. I'm actually much more lax on it. I mean, I make peanut butter sandwiches. If they don't like it, I'll make a peanut butter sandwich. But Andrea wouldn't do that, and I wish I was that way also. But Dad's kind of been a little bit of a pushover in some fields lately. Yep. So far, you know, chicken Alfredo, I've got about 95% saturation. There's like one kid that doesn't like chicken Alfredo. I think it's Sophia. Sophia is always the one that won't eat whatever I make. Yeah. Tried taco soup? No. Mm-mm. If you have to say, will we try? It's going to be a no. I mean, I might try it, but generally, I don't foresee us discovering any new giant dinners nobody's had before that everybody likes. So it's one of those things. What an INTJ thing to say. Yep, that's definitely an INTJ thing. When's the next live dinner? Oh yeah, we missed it. I had a bad day that day. So next 13th we'll have it. Tom starts to say, I like having conversation. I didn't see what it said, but talking to people definitely helps me. I'm not thinking you're a troll. I'm not. Trolls don't identify themselves as not a troll. So I didn't see what you said, but it doesn't sound bad at this point. Who cares what to eat as long as they eat? That's the truth. I try to be honest and answer questions, and so I can generally tell when there's people as a troll. I didn't see what was originally said, so I'm not sure if it was offensive. Fishing being intimate with you. Oh. Well, doesn't sound like it was meant as a troll comment. What would you say the most stressful part of your day? Morning time with the kids, work, dinner time, or bedtime battles? That's moved. It's changed a lot. It was definitely nighttime, being in this bed alone, that was the most lonely part. But that's kind of gone away as much. It's still lonely. Then it was the morning. And now it's definitely when I'm at work, for whatever reason. When I'm at work and I'm having to do things and I'm gonna have to use my mind to fix a problem and understand, and I don't want to do it. I want to just curl up in a ball and disappear or something. And so I got to make myself do my job, and that's been hard. You have a night where you let them eat whatever they want to pick? Yeah, we call it make your own dinner night. And that's a fun thing in our house. So I haven't done a lot of them lately. They've been making dinner. But they can eat whatever they want then. And it's nice to say that. After I think where I'm at is a one-on-one chat with you. Yeah, maybe. And certainly send me a message on Facebook if you want to chat. Major loss in your life now, so cut yourself some slack. If you eat when the kids want to eat, it's fine. Eat whatever. If the kids want to eat that, that's fine. Exactly. Genuine smile is more heartwarming. I'll show more soon. I don't know. I don't smile a lot. If Andrea would love it too. What does the rules chart on your bedroom door say, if you don't mind answering? Yeah, I can't remember now. Let me see. So we got rules. Number one, no heck. Which number one should have been don't panic. We regretted not putting that later on. Number one is no heckling, bickering, or throwing tantrum. Number two, no leaving messes behind. Number three, obey right away. Number four, do routines and chores at appointed times. Number five, no playing before lessons. Number six, keep school records correctly. That's our list. Doing great for a single father with 9 kids. Am I? I don't know. I don't know where the bar is for that. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Absolutely. You need to watch that again. Bring your towel. Never forget your towel. You can see the true fans coming out. Who's you talking to? I don't know. Ever wanted to just pull the duvet cover over my head and turn the world out? Yeah. Probably read it wrong. Got to get my mind out of the gutter. Oh, I don't know. The door closes. Do not enter, kids. Yeah, it's locked, so they can't enter. Andrea had a really cute little thing. She loved Victorian style stuff, so she had this Victorian design doorknob hanger that said, "Mommy needs a minute," and it has this picture of this mom just sad and crying, and it says, "Do not enter unless there's a fire or somebody is injured," all in a very fancy Victorian font. It's super cute. I got it here somewhere. But it makes me sad to look at, so I took it and put it on her desk, I think. Is the bathroom in your room? The bathroom is shared in between the girls' room and this room. So you either got to go through our room to get to the bathroom or the girls' room. People normally go through the girls' room. That's not ideal, but very soon we'll be fixing the bathroom, getting a bathroom in the basement for the boys. And so this will be the girls' bathroom, and there'll be a boys' bathroom. So that'll happen sometime soon. I have a plumber who's coming out. The reason why we haven't been able to do it up to now is our pipes are old cast iron. This house was built in the 40s. And so it's all cast iron, and they're cracking and need work and done, and it's not something I know how to do. And the concrete needs to be cut where they need to be redone, the pipes, and so I'm waiting on that. There's supposedly a guy coming in January to take care of that. Wait, where's the girls' room video walkthrough? There's an old one. It's not even close to what it is now. Me and Andrea were wanting to do that. We never did get to do it, and now it's kind of hung up on me learning to sew curtains. And I know there's a lot of people that have offered to help curtains, but I got to do this. Daddy's going to sew the curtains, so you're going to have to wait a little bit on that. You definitely was a lucky man, Tom. Yep, I sure was. Didn't find out about Andrea's passing until yesterday morning. Oh, man. Took a YouTube break to go watch my favorites and see he's been with Jesus. Yep, it's been a very difficult time. Tom, with 6 kids, we have 3 bathrooms. Could use 3 more. Yeah, it's been fun. We actually don't necessarily even need one. I mean, we have 10 people. 11. We had 11, all with 1 bathroom. And sure, you're taking a shower. Maybe somebody else is brushing their teeth or going to the bathroom. That happens sometimes. And, there's a lot of taking turns. Sometimes we have, hurry, someone needs to go and get out and kind of a thing. But most of the time it works out just fine. Strong man, many would fall through your position. You're amazing. I don't know if I'm amazing. I fall through a lot. I'm really lucky to have you guys to talk to and be able to talk and meet people. Any plans for New Year's Eve? Yep, we definitely go. We go every year. We go to a hotel and play games and swim and have fun. So we're doing that. I'm lucky to have you. Oh man, we're lucky. I mean, 2 people said it. That's amazing. I don't get it. Okay, what statement is most correct? Grief is love, or love is grief? Grief is love. Love is grief. I'm not sure that I could agree with either one. It's somewhere in between. I had a friend just lose her hubby, left behind 3 littles. It's so terrible. I see it all the time now, but maybe it's like after we got a green van, we noticed so many other people that have green vans, and maybe I just was being insensitive and not paying attention before, but so many people die. Like you going in or like center, like gathering to discuss this loss of the group of others who lost a wife or husband. I don't know. Doesn't seem like my kind of thing, but I enjoy getting to talk to you guys. And both of those statements can be true. Grief can be love, and love can be grief. But I don't think it's enough to say it's an absolute. Not all grief is love. Some of it's pity, or self-pity, or something else. And not all love is grief, because love is awesome. So I couldn't go either way. Maybe you're not in denial. Maybe you just not want to give up until it was over. It happened so fast. Yeah, I don't think I was in denial. I was, we're Christians. We're praying. We're thinking she's going to be healed. I was believing that. Back in my mind, I was always afraid to hear the worst. And then it happened. And then I was in like survival mode. I was like, let's get what she wants done. What do you want? Let's get home. Okay, let's go home. You want to see the kids? Let's get to see the kids. Let's make sure, let's do everything we had to do, and trying to make arrangements and make plans, make the home health nurse come over, make sure we got medicine and all this stuff. And I wished I'd talked to her more. I've shared it before, but when we were on the plane, it was so loud you couldn't really talk anyways. It was just a small little plane, and she's laying there. And she just had her arms folded on her chest, and she just looked at me with a smile. Just this smile. Like, hey there, I love you. That's my favorite memory of the whole thing. the days leading up to the hospital trip like, well, she had been laying in the hospital. She'd been laying in the bed for about a month in a lot of pain. But she'd still get up and do stuff. She'd get up and make dinner. Then she'd pretty much lay down again. And we took her into the chiropractor, and that helped her a lot. She's like, oh, it's so great going to the chiropractor. It really helped. And then at some point, she just said, I think we should go to the emergency room. And then that was it. We went to the emergency room, and that whole adventure started right then. Yeah, after she got on the plane, she was needing medicine every 15 minutes. This drug she was on, and it made her feel good for about 15 minutes. And they gave her another. They kept giving it to her every now and then. And when she got on the plane, she didn't need it. She used to give me that smile. She's just sitting there like, it's gonna be okay, even though she didn't say that. It looked like maybe she was saying that. Don't do the what if. Yeah, I know that. I try not to. Truly love, Tom. Some people never know that time of love. I know, and I had it. Maybe that's all I want is again. I want to have that again. Yeah, she was, Cynthia. I'm not strong. I'm not handling it. This is all fake. This whole, if it looks like I'm handling it, I'm not handling it. Did she know she lost the baby? Oh yeah, that was a big deal. In fact, it was the baby probably. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she would have died anyways. But if she hadn't been pregnant, you would have gotten so much done so much faster. And it was giving birth. It was so hard on her body, and the placenta was stuck inside of her. But she was so proud. It's kind of gross. I never forget. But baby was born, and she really wanted to know if it was a boy or a girl. And doctor's holding it in his hand, trying to tell if it's a boy, and it's in two pieces. And Andrea was looking like very interested. She wasn't grossed out or anything. She was very interested, trying to tell. She was looking with him. It was a really sad time. Sorry. You got me good on that one. I'm all right. Thank you, guys. I'm so mad that she didn't get it home. Those are the things I'm mad about. That we couldn't go home because of stupid drug mix-up. And I was mad that last doctor, and she wasn't getting any medicine. They wouldn't give her any of the pain medication. She was getting every 15 minutes. She was getting a certain dose, small dose. And that last dose they gave her, she said, I gave her a really good dose. And the EMT was there looking at her. Oh, man, he said she felt that one. And her eyes rolled back in her head. And that was the last time she was conscious. I mean, like I said, I kind of shared the story where we could shake her for a while when we got there, and she'd wake up and she'd be fine for a second, then she'd just go right back out again. Just a second. And so I wished I didn't do that more often. I should have kept doing that over and over again. And just ask her something else. Tell her I love her. I know she was trying to talk to me a couple of times. She was mumbling. She wasn't getting it out. But you know that scene in Lord of the Rings when the guy is he's bewitched by Saruman in the White City or whatever, and he's burning his son alive, and he's like, they're saying, my son's dead, And the guy's like, no, he's not. He's still alive. He's still alive. No, he's dead. No. I totally felt like that. Like that was me. Like Andrea was mumbling and stuff, trying to talk, but in my mind she was already gone. And I wish I had not. I was so emotionally tired at that point. Thank you, Miss Dolly. I was so emotionally messed up at that point from just the constant 10 days of worry and stress. I just wanted to go somewhere else. And so I slept in another room, and I regret that. I wish I had been more there with her more. No, you're right. The what if game doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know her, so. Can't you wish you could talk to Andrea about her death? Absolutely. I wish I mean, they say INTJs. They have a small circle. If you don't know what we're talking about with the letters, it's a Myers-Briggs personality type. INTJ is my type. So for my type, they have a small inner circle that they don't take anybody into. And they have a lot of emotions, and they show a lot of emotion if you're in that circle. But the only person I had in that circle was Andrea. And that is the thing that hurts the most, is there's nobody else in that circle. Nobody knows me. Nobody I can tell those things to. You think Andrea really knew how bad things were? I think she did after they told her. They were not telling us anything. Some other doctor, it wasn't our doctor, came in to tell her, look, she's going to die. At this point, they told us it was biliary duct cancer. And I've only seen this twice before. It's terrible. She's going to die, and it's going to be soon. Just make yourself ready. And no one had told us that. And I was so mad at him for saying it, but now I was really glad that he said it. So, yes, I do have the Lord, Teresa. You're absolutely right. Today, we have the audio Bible playing throughout our house. It's playing normally all the time right here, but I turned it down for the video. Anyways, today I think I said that you're watching the premiere. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Claudia got Sophia fart putty for Christmas. And in the middle of the night, Sophia comes in and says, Dad, I got gum in my hair. I was like, you got gum in your hair? Well, just lay down. We'll get it in the morning, take some peanut butter and get it out. And so then that morning comes, we get her up, and it's all over. And I realized, no, that's not peanut butter. That's not gum. That's that fart putty stuff. And so I was in the bathroom scrubbing it, and I put her in there. I had to turn the water on and just trying to comb it out. It was just such a nightmare. I was in there for an hour and a half. Got her clean, and then I had to get her clothes clean because she loves her Hello Kitty jammies and doesn't want. I wasn't gonna throw them away. They were so bad, but I got them clean, and then her blanket was dirty. So I'm in there scrubbing, and the audio Bible's in there. There's an Isaiah, and there's a verse that came on. I don't remember now, but it talked about. See if I can find it. And I just started breaking. I broke down right then and there, hearing this verse come on. I hadn't felt that way in a while, like when I hear a verse like God's talking to me. And I totally felt it there. And must have been Isaiah 49, yep. So, said, can a mother forget the baby at her breast and have no compassion on the child she has born? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. And that's what I heard. I will not forget you. And I broke down right then and there. And there's other parts in this chapter that really spoke to me too. I heard this part here. Though you were ruined and made desolate, and your land laid waste. Now you will be too small for your people, and those who devoured you will be far away. The children born during bereavement will yet in your hearing say, this place is too small for us. Give us more space to live in. And I don't know. all of a sudden that verse spoke to me, and I don't know what the future holds, but for some reason I thought that was it's speaking to me. That I don't know what will happen, but maybe somebody will come, and maybe we'll have to move because this place will be too small for us. Anyways, I felt like God was talking to me in that. So, hey Aunt Josie, today's your birthday? Well, happy birthday. I found the video of Andrea talking about YouTube continuing the ministry on March 13th. Okay. I'll leave that in a comment for me, Tammy, if you could. Hindsight, Tom, don't beat yourself up. I read that verse yesterday and thought about you. Really? Wow. She is coming to you. I hope so. When I was this way before I met anybody. When I was a teenager, I was really lonely too, and I didn't think I'd ever find anybody then. And there's a verse that said, you ever do that thing? I mean, when I was young and stupid, I don't say that's stupid because you know what? I still kind of do that. But you ever done that thing where you're reading the Bible and you want wisdom, and so you just flip to a page and you put your finger on a verse and you just read it? And I used to do that. And I had people tell me it was stupid, but in reality, it's helped me a lot, really. But at one point, I was really sad and crying as a teenager, and I flipped to a page and I put my finger there, and it said, "Your wife will be as fruitful as a grapevine, and your sons will be like olive shoots around your table." And I was so at peace. I was like, there it is. My wife will be as fruitful as a grapevine. And I didn't care about the fruitful of the grapevine. I said I was going to have a wife, and I was so excited. And then it was so funny that when I met Andrea, she was as fruitful as a grapevine. It was wonderful. And so this kind of felt like that today. And I wouldn't have heard it if I hadn't been there scrubbing fart putty out of my daughter's Hello Kitty jammies. And I don't know. It was neat. Good night, love, my home life. Nice, thanks for stopping by. You met Andrea at church? Yeah, we. I think I've told you guys before I was married before, and I think I told you last night, in fact, that I came home and there was somebody else living in my house, changed locks and all that stuff, and so we got divorced, and it had been, I don't know how long it had been. It all runs together, a year, I don't know. And my parents said they were going to move out to Wyoming, and I was anxious to start over. And go, that song, you want to go where everybody knows your name. I wanted to go where nobody knew my name, and so that's what I did. We went to Wyoming, and my stepdad became preacher of a church, and I met Andrea there at a meeting for the Christian school. Apparently, we were getting set up. Actually, it's all in that video. You guys have all heard it by now, probably. Now, before there were two, there were one, but. Dog farts are terrible. If you plan to remarry anytime soon, your children would benefit from a woman in the home. They sure would. Got to have someone to marry first. I'm sure he'll bring me somebody if that's his will. Yeah, Papa Doug is my stepdad. Yep. He's still alive. He's a godly man. I enjoy talking to him. Knuckles was the same way, Pam. How's Papa Gary? He's doing pretty good. He's mostly concerned about me whenever I see him, so I'm not very fun to be around these days, so I'm mostly just coasting through life, so I haven't got to spend as much time with him as I'd like. Don't rush marriage. You have to take time to get to know a person. God will send when the time is right. I'm sure he will. I'm not going to rush or not rush. I'm not. I've never been for social rules. I'll do whatever God wants me to do, no matter how stupid people tell me it is. So me and Andrea got married extremely fast after we met. As you said, if you watch that video, you've probably heard her say, "Let's get this show on the road, man." And that's just the way it is. That's the way we both have always been. If there's something to be done and needs to be done, then you just do it. Is he still married to Grandma Kitty? No, he's not. You remarry, would you have more children? I guess it depends on what she wants. Me too, Pam. Me too. Horror of the wrong person. I'm sure. I'm praying God's will be done in my life, and I pray about every decision I make. I pray in the morning, in the night. I pray all the time. So I pity the woman Tom dates next. He had like 700 bodyguards next. So I started to read that, and I was getting all defensive, but then I realized that was a good comment. So thank you. Yes. Well, thank you, Rebecca. Good to see you. Yep, I'm not answering messages right now because I'm right here. Is your first wife whom you had one child with, or is it wife somewhere else? Yes. No. First wife is the one I had Melina with. You believe in karma. I don't call it karma, but I believe that you reap what you sow, and I believe that happens. You want more children? I want whatever God wants me to have, and if I were to find somebody else, their desires would come into consideration also. Anything makes you feel happy or puts you in a silly mood? Sure. When Andrea laughs, that does it. So if you can bring that to me. It's very rare that I really laugh. Even that laugh was a courtesy laugh. Most of my laughs are fake. If I acted the way I normally would be, I'd just be stoic all the time and no one would like me. So I've got this good, Andrea called it my customer voice or customer laugh. But she would love it when I would actually laugh legitimately. Happens a few times. It was one of her favorite things to see. I would never get married again. That was Andrea. And I didn't know what I would do. I said we talked about that before, but Andrea said, "No, I know you'd get remarried." And I was like, "How do you know?" "I don't know." She's like, "You would. I know you." Asher. Whoa. Asher here? How's Melina doing? I think she's okay. I think she was feeling a little sad today. But when you're blessed again with someone, Tom, it's important not to feel guilty about being happy. I know that's probably true. I hear it's more common for women to say they wouldn't get married again. Is there a reason why you wouldn't want to move? Wouldn't out of Wyoming? Mostly because there's just a lot of sentimental attachment to this house, and I had children born in this house. 4 of my children. Andrew would be laughing at me here that I don't know it off the bat. 5 born in this house, and Andrea was born here. Her mom was born here, and her grandma homesteaded here. Plus, I think Wyoming is like the greatest place on earth. This is the greatest. I love this place. So I would never say never about anything, but I'm extremely opposed to moving. Which obviously would limit things, but I don't know. God knows, I suppose. I guess never say never. You talk to any fans daily? I get a lot of messages from people. And I enjoy talking to lots of people. Usually on Facebook. Facebook? Might be a good name for it sometimes. Facebook. You think Andrea would remarry? No, she said that she wouldn't. She said she wouldn't remarry. It's so different. I mean, I hate thinking about those logistics, but when a woman dies, if a man dies, we have a good life insurance policy on me. She would have been okay. Andrea could live on 2 pennies. She was so good at budgeting and stretching a penny and making things go. She was a teenager. She'd get 1 box of macaroni and cheese, and she'd divide it into 4 pieces, and she'd eat it for 4 days when she was living in a dorm. And and how these ways she could make money stretch, and she was so good at it. So if she'd have money for me, she'd be set. When it's different for a guy, if only it was just money. If he doesn't fall asleep talking, yeah, that's possible. Thomas's plans for the future? I don't know. They've gone through some morphings. I think his plan now is to move out with his best friend and get an apartment when he turns 19. My wife is always looking for a backup in case he goes in. Oh my gosh. You're going to get beat, Stidden family. I'd love to visit Wyoming one day. Wyoming's wonderful. It's just nature and beautiful and big skies and stars. And tried your weighted blanket, Tom? Yeah, I have tried it. I usually end up kicking it off in the middle of the night. But I think if I got used to it, I could do it. Not so rural that children can be a good spouse. Yep, that's a big deal. That's the thing I used to tell Andrea. I got totally lucky marrying you, Andrea. You were awesome, And, I'd tell her this, I married you because you're really hot and you love God. And I really lucked out that you became such a good woman. You were such a good woman. And I thought, and she says, it wasn't luck, it was God. And I was like, oh, I know that. But in my mind, I still feel like it was luck, even though I know it wasn't luck. So I used to tell her, I don't know how I can get lucky 9 more times, meaning for my kids. I need to find them Andreas and Andrews. And she says, you don't have to get lucky 9 more times. Just trust God. And second night of remarrying talk. Yeah, I guess it keeps going back to that, but you've been to the national parks. I went to the Sequoias in California, and there's another park out there. I actually haven't been to Yellowstone. Can you believe it? It's in Wyoming, and I haven't been there. Good night, Jane. I had someone bring to light what the white robe and blue sash in heaven means, a sign of the flag of Israel. Interesting. Is it painful when people ask about Andrea? No. I like to talk about Andrea. In fact, I read you guys from my little journal that she wrote me. I got one sitting here. I thought about reading you another page out of that. I proofread it, and it's safe. There's probably some I wouldn't read you, but part of me just wants to share those things. I don't know why. I was overcome with the urge to want to share it the other day with somebody. They didn't want to hear it, but thought maybe I'd read it to you guys. About the Winchester Mansion. No, I haven't. No, Tor, I'm going to put it in writing if anything happens to me. Look at him. Oh my goodness. Yosemite. Yeah, we went to Yosemite. That's the one I was thinking. Yep. Please share. Okay. Well, then I will. So you don't know what this is. Andrea had this book she made. It makes me cry. Look at the cover. Whenever she was thinking good thoughts, and her idea was to write these good thoughts down and put it on my pillow, then I could write them back to her. But all right, well, this one's from 2006. If I can get through it. All right, dear Tommy, today was one of those days, a day when I can't get you out of my mind. Not that I want to anyway. Sometimes I'm just reminded of how unbelievably lucky I am to have you. I noticed today that your shoulders are so wonderfully broad and muscular and sexy, and I feel safe with you. And not just physically safe, emotionally too. You are so kind and good to me. You are so kind and good to the boys too. I enjoyed watching you with Judah today. It makes me so happy that you get to be home with us so much. I love how bonded the boys are to you. Of course, our life would be a lot different if you hadn't been so brave to step out on your own to take care of us solely on your faith and you work each day. I am so proud of you and so thankful for you. I guess you could say you make me feel financially safe too. Safe, safe, safe. Safety is a rare and valuable thing in our culture. Thank you for keeping us safe. Thank you for loving us and taking care of us. Thank you for providing a stable, good, safe home and family. It is worth more than words can express to know that our family will always be together, that we, you and I, are going to be together forever, and that we're truly safe. I love you so much, Andrea. So, yes, so. Yep, she's wonderful. I just wanted to share with somebody. I wanted somebody else to know it besides me. So, thanks for being those people to me. Tom, do you think people judge or take your grief or reactions personally? I think people judge or take your grief reactions personally. I don't know. Maybe. Like a response, no accident. Yep. Yeah, I'm glad to have it. If the house burned down, this is what I'd grab. I always think about those things. You ever think about if your house was going to burn, you could grab one thing? What would it be? It'd be this. Can you show the cover again? Sure. I don't know if you can see it or not. It says T and A forever, and it's a raised little thing she made on it. I wish I had filled this up. There's not that many entries. Less than I would have liked. Hopefully you can share a copy with the kids. I can't remember, but I think there's some stuff in here I'm not going to share with you, if you know what I mean. So I don't know if I'd want to share it with the kids or not. I'll remember when I finish going through it. I haven't actually read it. I've been reading one at a time. Yeah, exactly. Stood 10 family. I felt it too. That part about a grapevine was spoken last week at my aunt's funeral. Yep, it's an important verse to me. Good to see you enjoying little things. How many journals did Andrea make, Tom? I don't know. I find her writing little things. I find little pages she wrote herself. Oh, see, there's one. Then I wrote her one. Then she wrote me one. And I wrote her one. And that was it. Last time I wrote it. Well, it's all old stuff. Oh wait, it was the last time I wrote in it. You produced and directed shows for Benny Hinn, huh? Wow. Can you read what you wrote? Maybe. I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to share that with you since I wrote it. Andrea's dead and she can't complain, so. But maybe. I'll pre-read them, and it's going to embarrass the living tar out of me if I read those things to you. You should write in it now. Yep, I've had several people tell me to write in it. Part of me would want to, and part of me doesn't want to ruin it. This is it. This is how it was, and part of me doesn't want to change it. I can always write her in something else. Writing something now after she's dead is not my style. I'd talk to her and tell her out loud. To me, I'd my logical brain would say that's silly and dumb. Doesn't serve any purpose. I can just tell her. You believe in God takes a person for a reason. I was brought up in that to believe. You know, when I was also in there scrubbing, that verse came on too, that the Lord takes the righteous to be free of suffering. So I think he does, but I think sometimes he doesn't too. When my wife writes to me as a grocery list, will you save those for your kids? Yeah, they'll definitely save them for somebody. Maybe. You know, I don't know. Some sappy part of me wants to, I don't know, wants to wait and see if God sends me somebody else and continue it in the same journal. I don't know if that sounds sick and twisted or wrong to you, but part of me would like that. My pet peeve, why do pastors have to preach at funerals? Your loved one's happy in heaven. At my mother's funeral, she was an evil woman. Oh, yeah. Everybody goes to heaven at funerals, right? No one wants to hear the other thing, right? What audio Bible system do you have? I actually made a whole video on it. If you look for Mills Family Audio Bible, you'll find it. Yikes, Penelope. That's tough. Our our answer machine has only like room to store 1 or 2 messages because Andrea has saved messages on there. There's 49 messages on there. She's been saving them for years, and I haven't known what to do with them. Every now and then I'd record them off for her on the computer, and we'd clear it out and go ahead. But every time I would call, sometimes I would be silly and I would tell jokes or make funny noises or pretend to be somebody else on the phone, and of course she would leave it. She'd say, don't delete that message, leave it there. And then her grandma Fern would call to check on us, and don't leave that message there, don't delete it. And so it's 49 messages in a row of memories for her. And I don't know, maybe I should play them for you guys sometime. Good night, Robin. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks, Missy. I know your feelings. I ordered Josephus Antiquities today. Are there other books you could recommend? I think I was talking to you, Tammy. Did you get that one by what's his name? That same guy? I think so. Mark. What is his name? I don't remember. But I think you shared it with me. But his is the best version. Most of them are all a crappy version, old King Jamesy type thing. I'm having a brain fart all of a sudden. Can't think of the guy's name. I'm gonna say something about that. Kelly, yeah, I think about that all the time. That's one of the things I've been mad at God about. But I also understand. I know the answer to that. King Solomon said the same thing. Don't be surprised when the wicked live long and the righteous die young. That's all true. Oh, yeah, you guys sent them to me. I've shared them before. They're these insanely good sprinkle covered gummy bears, and they're super tasty. We continue to make the family calendars. Yes, a lady offered to make them for me, but I think maybe I need to do that. I feel like I have to do that. I won't try dating sites are scary. Been divorced 8 years now. Had a wall up for a long time. I understand that. Gideon's torch. I don't think so. Don't know Tom need to share. I'm not sure what that's about. I messed it. I hadn't seen them before either, but they're ridiculously good. I don't care about the sprinkles. They're fun. They make it have a good texture. They're not sweet sprinkles. They're just like flavorless sprinkles. But the gummy bears themselves are like a pineapple. They're just super tasty. Yes, Rachel, I'm actually very excited you sent me those. I was getting low on them. This is actually still the original one that I shared all those months ago. We eat them one at a time because they're too good. Gina Marie, did you defend me? No, you didn't. What did you say? I missed it. Did I say something to you? You didn't offend me. I'm not feeling offended. Gina Marie. I don't know what you said. You didn't offend me, though. So, what's the name of the bologna you were looking for? It's made under several different names. The name of the company, it's beef bologna, and it's manufactured by a company called Topco. 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 And they make it under several names. The name that we were buying it under when they had it at where Thomas works was Surefine beef bologna. But it's made under some different names also. Without going downhill. Oh, no, not at all. Definitely didn't offend me. Nope. Don't worry about it. You definitely didn't offend me. I felt the need to answer you and tell you what happened, but I wasn't mad at all. So to put that on your mind. I love how women on here do self-advertisement. Oh, I love you guys. I missed it. Coworker says I'm now a member of the Widows Club. It sucks. I'm still angry too. Still searching for that verse. Oh, the verse that I was just telling you about righteous people being taken young. It's not an answer to the question. It's just that Solomon acknowledged that happened. I'll find it. Ecclesiastes 7:15 says, "In this meaningless life of mine I have seen both of these, the righteous perishing in their righteousness, and the wicked living long in their wickedness." Although a wicked person who commits 100 crimes may live a long time, I know it will go better for those that fear God. What about righteous being spared for evil? Is that the other one? Isaiah 57:1 is, "The righteous perish, and no one takes it to heart. The devout are taken away, and no one understands that the righteous are taken away to be spared from evil." Isaiah 57:1, in case you're curious. I missed something. I want to read it. Cringing at the advertisement. Oh. I don't mind the advertisements. There's all kinds of things this channel can do. Because of Andrea, I'm now starting my 10-year-old homeschool program. It's called Classical Conversations. Have you heard of that one? Nope. But you know why when you lose something, it's always in the last place you look? Because if you keep looking for it after you find it, you're crazy. So we already found our awesome curriculum, and we know it's great. It's good for what we want. Does all the things we need to do, so we haven't really looked much at anything else. We definitely looked into supplements, but I don't know why, but I feel you're going to be engaged or married by February 14th. Oh, I'd be really surprised if that happened, but anything's possible. That'd be super early. Maybe it would be, but I mean, if I knew that was what God wanted, I knew that was his plan. I mean, it was the same way with Andrea. Once we knew it was what God wanted, it's like, why go dragging it out for no apparent reason? But I'd be surprised if that happened. I missed what happened there. Add yourself to the list. My condo is yours for honeymoon. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Stidham family, we use ACE or School of Tomorrow. It's an old curriculum. There's things we don't like about it, but it's great. It's very easy on the parents. It's a lot of responsibility on the kids for setting their own stuff and doing their own things. And it's Christian based and lots of good lessons. It's complete curriculum, so you can use it all the way through high school. Oh, you're not saying no. That's funny. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. You have a vehicle that holds all of you? Yep, our van holds us all. Andrea was looking into getting a new van. We have a 12-seater. She was looking at getting a 15-seater because, she was sure we were going to have more. And not only if you don't have more, sometimes grandparents come with us and friends and stuff, and so we didn't have enough room. But now we're down one, so we got 2 extra seats in there, so I don't really see a reason to get anything else. Good question, though. What if one of the kids don't care for the new person? That would stink. But it's the kind of thing we want everybody to be a part of it if it were to happen, introduce it all slowly and go slowly. And I mean, heck, maybe that'll happen. My mom got remarried to Papa Doug, who's now one of my closest people, but we did not get along. We did not. I mean, I was a strong-headed kid, and I'm thinking, you're trying to replace my dad, and I would talk back to him. I was mean to him. But now I'm so close to him, and he's such a godly man. I really love him to death. So that kind of stuff happens all the time. Right on the ocean, wow. What if she's a crazy lady? Well, probably won't be her then. All women can be crazy sometimes, right? Guys can too, though. How did your brother pass? He had a disease called mucopolysaccharidosis. I could list out the things that were wrong with him, and I could be here for an hour telling you all the things he had wrong with him. So he lived longer than they thought he would. He died at 12. You open to a woman that had a child already? I think that's a given. I mean, finding people my age range, or we're going to probably already have children. That's totally fine. I love kids, so maybe I'll meet somebody who wants to have more kids. That'd be fine too. I love kids, so that's easy. Oh my gosh. Marissa, that's hilarious. Nice save, Tom. See? There you go. That's sad to hear, Tom. I'm not sure what you said, but probably about me finding somebody. Well, maybe that's sad. I'm sorry. What side is Andrea's side of the bed? Over here. This is where she was. Oh, I see. For my brother. There's a delay, so I increased the delay a little bit because we've been getting some buffering issues in the past, so yeah, that is sad. Beginning of experience, my adoptive father remarried. I didn't know he was dating. I found out when he and his new wife and 3 kids came through the back door after his fishing trip weekend. Yikes, I am not a fan of that at all. As you guys were aware, my kids were auctioning me off last night on the live stream, so my older kids anyways are fully aware. So we've talked about it. I'm as honest with them as I am with you guys. I hide nothing from my kids. So I love them, and that's why people ask about the Santa thing, and I have no problem with people doing Santa, but we've always just leveled with our kids, honest across the board. So is there part 2 of the Christmas video about the rest of the day? No, there should have been. I went emotionally downhill from that point, so I stopped taking video. And like older, not younger for me. Seems like men in younger 30s like me are too young. I think that happens a lot, actually. Yep, this is Andrea's hair. They just want you to be happy, Tom. They do. It was really special that they did that. That made me feel really good. It was very sweet because I know what they were trying to do, right? You guys know what they were trying to do, and that means they love their dad, and that made me happy. I didn't watch it all. It was sad for me. Oh, it was? I'm sorry. Can you explain your family like who's who? Actually, I got a video with Andrea explaining who's who. It's an old video. I'm going to edit it. Are your kids are the best? Do you feel Andrea when you talk to her? Sometimes I feel people I lose to me. Sometimes I can't. I don't. Sometimes I feel like I know what she tells me. Like I say something, and I know what she's saying. She would say to me about that. And so, is that feeling her? I don't know, but well, thank you, Tammy. Am I too hard on I probably am too hard on myself, but that's been my life since I was a little kid. Perfect fit for you and the kids. She will be sent by God, so of course. That's what I like to think, Barb. I know it sounds weird to hear me talk about that stuff, but I am trusting God. Are there more videos to come with Andrea? It was the last shopping video. Oh, no, that was Andrea's last shopping video, but that wasn't her last video. We actually have another shopping video afterwards. I'm kind of dreading it because I say why I go out myself. I do the shopping myself. Andrea gave me the list, and I called. I don't know if I called her maybe sometimes, but I'm a little worried about what I'm going to say because I'm going to say something like, Andrea's not feeling good, but she's okay and she's going to be all right, so don't worry. And but I'm going to do the shopping for her, and I think I'm talking like that. And to see myself say that, knowing that that time I didn't know she's going to be dead in a month. Oh man, that flips me out. Were any of the kids sad on Christmas Day? No, they actually did really well. At the end of the day, I asked Asher. No, actually, Asher brought it up out of nowhere. We were driving home, and she said, "He said, Dad, even though Mom died, it pretty much seemed like a normal Christmas." That made me feel really good. I have a hard time at your live streams help. Well, I'm glad, Chris. I appreciate it. I'm glad they help you. They help me too. How young is too old for age different in a future potential partner? I don't know. 30s is probably fine. Maybe, I don't know. Probably in there is a normal range for too young. Each day like it's your last. Absolutely. That's my motto. Christmas this year is already hard for me. Many family members not doing good. Oh man, that sucks, Audrey. 17-year-old daughter hasn't been home in days. I worry sick. Need to trust she's using tools I instilled her during this rebellious phase. Yeah, I'm sure that's mind-warpingly worrisome, but just keep praying and trusting God. Asher's been my best bud. It's funny how many people say, "Oh, Asher's so sad. You need to help him out." He's not. I can tell you I know when he's sad. He's not, and he's my strength, boy. That boy is great. Eden was sad tonight. Me and her made her a special ice cream cone out of Daddy's waffle cones and Daddy's stash of butter pecan ice cream. And Justus was really quiet. Yeah, he just is. I saw someone else say something about it. Justus looks sad, but he's just a quiet boy. He's a very quiet, sweet, emotional boy, but he's also really fun and naughty and annoying to kids sometimes. He's kind of a neat mixture. Would 50s be too old for you in dating? Just curious. I don't know. My gut tells me maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'd be open to anything, but for being honest, maybe. Listen to Granger Smith talk about losing their 3-year-old son, 5 months age. He said the hardest thing isn't that River is gone. Yeah. Walking into his room and seeing him there. Not seeing him there, no doubt. So I met before time when I said hello, Asher, because you were saying you don't laugh a lot, and I thought maybe he gets that from you. Oh, I see. I got that now. I was like, Asher, where did he go? Yeah. Maybe he probably does. It's funny because he totally favors Andrea's family in his look, in his body build. Andrea was a skeleton as a teenager, and just like Asher, and yet his personality is a lot like me as far as playing. He's really good at video games, and he's really a thinker. And I was 22 and he was 41 when we got married. Wow, neat. And I could happen. Maybe that would be fine. So I don't know where the line is. Maybe that would be fine for me too. I hadn't given it a lot of thought. I have a son as well, but isn't as scared as my girl. We all just pray things safe in her hand. That's all you can do. Andrea was so beautiful when she was young. Yeah, she really was very pretty. Just don't marry someone as young as Thomas. No, that would be really bad. Can you imagine if it was like Thomas's age? I mean, if I marry a 17-year-old, you guys better slap me. So, would you imagine that? This is. Oh man. Anyways, no. You had a video of Andrea laughing with each child, if you would like. That'd be sweet. It worked. Married 21 years. That's awesome. So it definitely can work. I'm open to whatever God's got for me, if He's got something for me, whatever that is. God has probably already picked the right one for you. You're absolutely right. He probably has. I pray that. I don't know what He wants. I thought I knew what God wanted for my life, and then He threw a curveball. So you can always throw me a curveball. I'll take a swing. What is Andrea's favorite dish to order out of date night? She ordered the same thing every time. So we would go to Old Chicago, and she'd order. She never knew what to order. Andrea was a creature of habit, and she is not somebody who would try new things or do new things. She needed the same thing all the time. So she. Thank you, Justine. She would always want chicken Alfredo. We go to Old Chicago, and she would get, what was she getting most of the time? She'd get a salad, maybe she'd get something. I can't remember. She'd just get random stuff, but she couldn't find something she really liked. And they didn't have chicken Alfredo. They had this thing called Oh My Spaghetti Pie, which is a spaghetti baked into a pie and then the slices. And they had chicken Alfredo flavor. And I said, you got to try that. No, I can't try that. It'll be gross. I don't like it. And I finally convinced her one day to try it. So that's all she ended up getting. She loved it. And so she had chicken Alfredo, Oh My Spaghetti Pie. And then when we went to Applebee's, she'd always get a steak, medium well, with 2 sides of potatoes. I think Andrea will pick up your next wife from up above. That may be. My husband is 15 years old, and we've been married 21 years. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's usually the way it goes. That the woman is younger than the man. That seems to be the combination that works out the most that I hear about. And so I'd totally be down for that. I mean, how do you think the kids would react if you started dating? I've already kind of talked to them about it. I had shared with you guys that I was talking to somebody long distance, and it didn't work out. But they knew about it, and they were okay with it. Like I said, my kids they were auctioning me off last night. Oh, it's a maturity thing. No, you know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think guys tend to run immature if we're being honest here. Does the crying ever pass? I lost my fiance September 25th. Oh man. I want to say no. I mean, the crying does pass. I'm not crying as much, but I'll just be walking along, and then all of a sudden I'll burst into tears for like 3 seconds, and then I'll quit again. But inside, I'm crying all the time. So, my hubby is 20 years older. We have an amazing relationship. See, it always seems to go that way, and so 25 for us, both second marriage for both of us. Wow. I'm 52, my hubby's 42. We've been together 13 years. Oh, neat. That's the other way. Do you think long distance is a problem when dating? It is and it isn't. I think it's nice because you get to know people in a different way. If you don't have the physical interaction, that it's not a barrier, but sometimes it prevents you from getting to know somebody on a deeper level. And so I think you get to know people better long distance in a more deeper way, because that's all you have to do is talk, right? You don't go out, you don't do things or watch movies or any of that sort of a thing. And but at the other side of it, I think there's another piece you don't get when you don't get to meet in person too. So obviously you'd have to meet in person at some point. So what was your favorite dish to order for date night? So at Old Chicago, I almost always got make your own calzone, and I would experiment with different things. I like things different. I love to experiment and have variety. And so I would get, in the realm of calzone. So I get a calzone. Sometimes I go all cheese. Sometimes I go pepperoni. Maybe I'd try Swiss cheese, and you can get like 3 or 4 different toppings, breakfast bacon, different things. And Bush grief, you just got to get through it. Isn't that the truth? How would Andrea's family feel about it? Well, they were aware that I was talking to someone for a while there, and some of them were not very happy about it. So, lobster fan, seafood? No seafood. I love a long distance relationship to start. You really get to know the person and understand what the relationship is as far as priorities go for each other. Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure Tom sold for $120 trillion last night. That's so funny. Yep, I think that's what the topped out at. You deserve happiness. Well, thank you, Audrey. You too. List. Ooh, I love to read that. Tammy always has good questions. And you list 3 things you would be the most cautious about before getting remarried. Ooh, you got good, deep questions. 3 things you'd be the most cautious about. Most cautious about. Let me think. That's a good question. Cautious about trying to entertain the idea of replacing Andrea. Be very cautious about any of that kind of talk. Cautious about introducing the kids and going careful and slow there. And cautious about letting them know that I'm not looking to replace Andrea or have another Andrea. Good question. You believe absence makes the heart grow fonder? That's absolutely true. Subscriber count has increased, has it? Men don't like to go alone. I know that's the same that's the way for me. I told my husband he better wait 6 months before he goes to a public relationship if I die. That kind of advice is good to have it ironed out. Doesn't mean you don't miss Andrew if you find someone else. That's the truth. I don't know how to explain it to you, but the part that she told me outright, but I know Andrea. I knew her better than anybody on earth. I knew her better than she knew herself. And she knew me better than I know myself. And so I already know how she'd feel about it. I know how she'd act. I know how she'd be saying what she'd be saying to me right now. And yeah. Of course, you got cheese, your favorite food group. Yeah, see, I always wonder if I could have been French or Italian, one or the other. French people love cheese. But yeah, I love cheese. $1978. Oh, that's the same. Oh, that's very close to Andrea's birthday. Tweety and babies. Found a woman, not playing, speaking, or faking, actually living it. Yep. Oh, there you go. 3 things you want in a wife. Oh, man. I think I probably shouldn't answer that. Because I think I decided before that if I give those kinds of lists out, everybody I talk to will all of a sudden have 3 qualities that I'm looking for. So I think I'll hold that close to the vest. Oh, Thomas is lurking. How's it going, Thomas? Have you made our mac and cheese baked yet? I didn't think we had the recipe. This last Sunday, Mrs. Reeves made it, and she said she told me that it's in this old cookbook from her family, and I looked, and she made it, and it tasted just like it. So I'm super excited. I thought that recipe was gone. So Kathy Poindexter. I'm done with the cola package. That's awesome. It's important the kids approve of her. It absolutely is. But I mean, if it's a person I like, they're gonna approve of her because she's gonna be awesome. You should answer that little piece, bucktooth and lazy. Well, I think me and you have a similar sense of humor. Anxiety 101. Thomas Mills, I thought you might have taken the money and run away. Yeah, Mrs. Reeves is awesome. There's more channels to turn on slow mode. It works good. It's only 15 seconds. That's what it should be, right? So it gets out of control. Otherwise, I turned it off a couple times and realized I was glad with it. Tapioca currency. I miss Andrea's voice talking to me through the screen. It makes me so sad for you and your children. I miss her voice too. That's one of the main reasons why I can't watch her videos. She'd do these little things that only I know. The way she would talk and then throw a laugh in the middle and then keep talking. And she'd do these, the way she just turned her head, or it's just all those little things, and just hearing her voice, and it's just wonderful. And I have a hard time with it. What's the hardest adjustment after Andrea passed? It's still this. I mean, it's hard learning how to pay bills. I don't know how to pay bills. I do now. It's hard learning how to cook and clean and budget my time, but it's been the emotional, my internal life that's been absolutely the hardest adjustment. I don't know if I'll ever get it through it. wait. What are we talking about here? Curl your toes. I missed something good there. Thomas is my bodyguard. That's awesome. Her voice was so soothing. Yeah, it's funny. We could have a good. We had such good talks about that kind of stuff. Teddy Bear, the voice was an amazing gift. It was. In retrospect, it was a silly little thing someone ordered, but thinking about it, what happened, the way it happened, someone says, it's telling stories. Oh, it's a storytelling bear. Oh, that's good. And we're trying to listen to them. What kind of story is it telling? It's kind of weird. Got some background noise on it. What is that? And you guys can see when at one point I realized, oh my gosh, someone says, that's Andrea's voice. And then as soon as I realized it, I couldn't hold back the tears. It was great. Newest daughter-in-law has a problem with me. It saddens me, but she gives me no grace. I think that's a pretty common thing, so don't feel bad. I would say keep working on the relationship. Don't give up. Don't you have to pay taxes quarterly for being self-employed? Yep, certainly do. We just estimate and send it in. I have 9 kids though, so I don't pay many taxes. Yeah, it is. It is a silly fan. I didn't realize it was causing an issue. I'll make sure I turn it off next time. She's with Jesus now. They're sad and feeling well. Thank you. What's the next recipe of Andrew's you want to make but haven't? That'd be it. The baked macaroni and cheese. Actually, I haven't made the regular the Velveeta macaroni and cheese either. I haven't made either one of those. Other people have made them for us, but I've been writing them down in my phone. I only did one with 11 toes. All right, there we go. 11 toes. You believe in ghosts? Nope. No one could ever replace her. She's your own individual treasure. She always carry with you. That's the truth. My mom's oldest out of 10 kids. Wow, that's awesome. I enjoyed the Christmas video watching it with you guys. I enjoyed watching it more than I did editing it. More cooking videos. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that. We will definitely do that again. Stuff it is for you. How would you be if a new woman wanted to change things like painting walls, replacing furniture? I've already come to terms with all of that. That'd be totally fine. There may be a couple things that I might protest on, but everything's up for grabs. If I find somebody and that's the person God wants, and we're going to be the same person again. So what they want is very important. So that's all up for grabs. I keep thinking about this. Andrea hand painted this. It was a labor of intense love. Andrea wanted to paint over it, and I wouldn't let her. So, but it's all up for grabs, really. I don't know if you can see this. I'll show you sometime. There's a leopard print door. Andrea printed the leopard print by hand, and it totally could go. But it's somewhere on it. She painted A+T, and it's like a Where's Waldo painting. I've been looking for it, but I have never been able to find it. '40s. Yep, left 6 children behind. Yeah, same with Andrea. I'm an INFP, which makes me go in my shell even more. Boy, that's the truth. I'm seeing a lot of INFPs lately. You can learn how to deal with it, though. You thought about teaching. Kind of what I'm doing on Bible study night. I do kind of like teaching stuff. Leopard print door, you have seen it? Oh, yeah. I've been half tempted to put a picture on there and have you guys all look for the T+A. I haven't been able to find it. Oh, thank you, Lady Country Tatum. I'm amazing with a dancing dude. Thank you. Watch Christmas video on full screen. Didn't know we could do that. Oh, we could chat. That's not normal. Oh, you were doing it just right now. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I thought about doing it, but here's a joke. My friend asked me where I see myself in the new year. How would I know? I don't have 20/20 vision. INFP stands for introvert, intuitive, feeling, perceiving. It describes a personality type in the Myers-Briggs system. INFPs tend to be very kind and quiet and very gentle, loving types. And you want most is to talk to them one more time. Yeah. What care would Andrea do in her first trimester? I'm certain she must have videos about that. ISFJ. Who do we have as ISFJ? I don't know if we have an ISFJ. I can't remember. That's me in solitary. Yep. I think you said that, Cynthia. I keep running into INFPs. I don't know how I got here. I've been watching in about 45 minutes. I lost my mother 2 years ago, April 3rd, and lost my niece. Oh, that's terrible. B-man. That really stinks. Don't got any words for you. It just sucks. Your potential partners the same standard Andrea said? No, I wouldn't compare to Andrea. Nope. I mean, I might have, honestly, but I've learned that. I learned that recently. So I would definitely not compare her to Andrea at all. In fact, I think it'd be good if they were not Andrea. ISFJ is Asher, okay. You know them in a deeper way. I think that's true. You play WoW? Used to. I lost 3 years of my life to WoW, but I would never do it again. I couldn't stop playing it. It was too addictive. Andrea told me, there was a time it caused some issues with us when it was early on. WoW first came out. She said, I used to dream about going in there and smashing your computer. So it was, I don't play it now, and I know better than to play it. Who called you dumb? Hello, Thomas. I think that's Mrs. Reeves. You're not dumb, Thomas. Don't anybody tell you you're dumb. Ban him. Oh, myself did. You're not dumb. What game is that? WoW, it's World of Warcraft. I was addicted to gaming for a few years. Me too. In fact, more than a few years. I was addicted to gaming all my teenage years. All my 20s. And then into being married too, even. Playing way too much. I still love games a lot, but I'm not addicted to them anymore. Contemplated when the vanilla servers were released. Yeah, they should have done it all along. Just left it in vanilla, but obviously they got more money on that. A lot of people got back into it then. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. It caused me problems with my wife, and so that because of that, I'd never touch it ever again, ever. And it wasted way too much of my time. You ever type /played and tell you how much game time you played? Whenever I did that, it'd make you want to kill yourself. New dog yet? Nope. I'm still enjoying being dogless for now. How did you break the addiction? I just did it cold turkey. I'm a cold turkey kind of guy. I've always liked games, but I saw what it did. I saw how much it hurt Andrea. That's really what it was. And so I just quit. Dead by Daylight? Is that what DBD is? My iPhone tells me about the time I spend on it. Scary, right? Bible studies make me rethink Christianity. I hope you begin teaching me Greek during Bible study. Bible study has made you rethink Christianity. Well, that's not a good thing. Oh, maybe in a good way. You're not rethinking being a Christian. You're rethinking Christianity. Is that right, Tammy? I hope that's the case. Have you played Pokemon lately? What level are you on? I am just a teeny sliver from 40. I haven't done it. Ever since Andrea died, I haven't really quite been able to get myself back into it. If you teach on Leviticus, let me know. I'll come argue. Oh man, I don't know that I'd be brave enough. I'm more concerned with the new covenant than the old covenant. Were you always a Christian? Tammy, yes. I'm still not sure what you're saying there. Are you rethinking Christianity? Like being a Christian? But I'm happy to teach you the Greek. I'd enjoy talking about that stuff. But I hope my Bible study made you rethink being a Christian. I don't want that. You think the rarest is a rarest personality type? It's supposed to be INFJ, but I sure see a lot of them. Maybe they all just watch this channel. But INTJ is the next one. That's mine. Greek is what the language that the New Testament was written in to begin with. So, are you Team Mystic? I mean, we're yellow. Make fun of the. I've seen all the stupid yellow memes. That was me who asked if you're always a Christian. Yeah, I was raised that way, but it had to become real for me at some point. Where can I take this test? You can go to 16personalities.com and take it there. But I think the test is better at humanmetrics.com. Do you think Jesus spoke Greek primarily? I think it's Aramaic and Greek. I think mainly he spoke Greek, believe it or not. But I do think he spoke Aramaic in the Hebraic villages. I'm still wondering what you're saying, Tammy Kitty. You have to tell me what you meant by that. Son's name is Yeshua. Wow. I think that also about the Greek. Yeah, I'm fairly confident. It makes people really angry, though. You tell people that Jesus didn't speak Hebrew, and they will get upset. But it's the truth, and it's easily test it out in the scriptures. You can totally see it. Even that scroll he gets when he asks the synagogue leaders to give him the scroll of Isaiah, and he reads them and tells them, this is fulfilled in your hearing. Even that scroll is a LXX. It's a Septuagint scroll, Greek scroll. Kids ever ask you about some of the questions asked on these? No, but they might be interested in listening to them. That's possible. Yep, I do have a video about the Greek part, about why and how to speak biblical Greek. And I go on to a lot of the reasons, all the best reasons as to why it's proof that not only Jesus, but all the disciples spoke Greek. Tom, how do you feel about the books that are supposedly missing from the Bible? If we're talking about the ones like that are in the Catholic Bible, generally I accept a lot of those, and I think they're okay. There's good reasons why they were counted out, but when you find ones like Lost Gospel of Thomas and those types of things, a lot of those, even though there may be good and maybe plenty good things in them, most of them are very recent or hundreds of years after Jesus, so there's good reason to doubt them. Yep. Andrea always said that even female INFJs were the most rare. But I sure see a lot of INFJs, especially on this channel. Maybe they're gravitate towards this channel. I don't see a lot of INTJs. I often question which one's the most rare, but it's hard to tell. It's not like everybody knows that. Did any of the kids sleepwalk or talk? Asher was a really big sleepwalker. Like, he'd freak me out. Like, he'd come up and he would he'd dig through things on the bed, and he'd talk, and he'd come and look at us, and it was just freaky. I thought, what's wrong with him? I didn't realize he's asleep, but some verses contradict others. There's some verses that have differences, but there's no truth contradictions. There's some differences of who was there, who wasn't there, or how many people were there, but I'm all for the contradictions. They just prove the truth of the Bible. But as far as the actual truth of the matter of what they say, they're not a contradiction. Side of the personality test, 16 personalities, 16personalities.com is the easiest to spell. You should try it, Heaven. That would be it's really fun. It describes me so exactly correctly that it scares me and made me think, what's wrong with me? I'm not a unique individual like I thought I was. I'm totally what this thing says. But it just describes the way you think more than anything else. There you go. Thomas has got it. I'm chatting with someone here in real life. Can you spot people who are INFSs of the others? Yeah, Andrea was particularly good at it. She could. That's how she was able to type all of our kids. It's not like we had Claudia and Sophia take a test, but she knew it so well. You can tell. There's more to it. The letters just tell you the function stack. Once you learn your function stack, each of those things. That's why there's 16. There's the introverted or extroverted. It's the I or E. The next one is either S or N, right? And each one of those can be extrovert or introvert. Anyways, that gives you all the different combinations. Someone perceives contradiction in the Bible. It's understanding a time frame of difference of groups of people can help mitigate that. I found, Tweety and Babies, that we need to embrace the contradictions. I think it's very dangerous to not embrace them. And by contradictions, I mean like after Jesus crosses the Sea of the Gadarenes and he casts the demons into the pigs. In one of the Gospels, it's one man who's there, and he says, we are legion, go into the pigs drown, blah, blah, blah. In the other story, there's two demon-possessed men, and the same story happens. So is it one or two? Is that a contradiction? Yeah, it's a contradiction. One of them is not correct, in my opinion. I don't think it's happened 2 times. I don't think he cast out demons twice, and then went into pigs twice, and they cast them out twice, asked them to leave their city twice. I don't know which one is correct. It doesn't matter. But the story doesn't change. It's still the same story. In fact, the fact that the difference is the details are a little different is proof that it's accurate. It's a true story because no two people remember things exactly the same. So the contradictions are fine, but that doesn't change the fact of the story. Jesus did cast out demons out of the demon-possessed men, did send them into the pigs. They did ask him about tormenting them before the appointed time. They did ask Jesus to leave their town. That all happened. Whether or not there was one or two men isn't really an important thing. Oh, AWESOME, that's awesome. I think it's dangerous to deny them. I've talked with many preachers about the contradictions, and a lot of them try to reconcile them. There's websites dedicated to reconciling these contradictions, and I think that's just a very dangerous thing. God is perfect. God is inerrant, and God's word is perfect and inerrant. But if it's the words of men, or if men are writing things they remember and they don't remember quite well, that's not on God. That's not on God's word. You're to worship God. You're not to worship the Bible or even God's word. And people worship the stars in the God's creation in the Old Testament, but even though God created them, they're not to be worshipped. So, is it 1:30? Oh no, it's 11:30. Freaked me out there. You're on the East Coast, Bam. Jesus was in the beginning with God. The beginning was the Word with God. The Word was God. Yep. En arche enologos, ke o logos ein proston theon, ke theos enologos. It's a good verse. Have you read or heard the book about the 5 love languages? Yes, I did. I am the touch one. Do you like tamales? Not really, although I haven't had one in many, many years. What'd you think of the new wife hated and didn't allow you to play video games? She probably wouldn't be my new wife. That's still the truth. Kids learn a language in school. I've been teaching them Greek in school, although we've totally abandoned it for a while since Andrea passed away, even before that. Don't say that to people, Tom. What? Oh, I am the touch one. I don't remember which one it is. Oh, you're right. I shouldn't. I was told you I wasn't going to give that stuff away. Oh, well. There's a secondary one. There's 2 of them, right? You have 2. The secondary one. I can't remember the secondary one. I'll keep that one clean. So. What if the new wife didn't want you talking about Andrea? Probably the same story. She probably wouldn't be my wife. I wouldn't marry somebody that would care about, that would say things like that. Andrea only wore skirts, correct? And she always wore skirts. Yeah. There was a time she wore pants. But as we continued growing in our walk and realizing the value of modesty and the struggle that men have in particular with seeing things and being visual creatures that God made, it's a very big problem in our culture. It's a very big problem. And so it's just being responsible to dress that way. So then we switched to that. No, I'm not getting married again, but I'm not looking, so. Good night, Pam. Thanks for being awesome. That was entertaining. What if the new wife didn't show her true colors till after? Then that would be very dirty, and that would be a failure on my part. I think it's hard to hide who you are. And I've got little traps anyways. I have all kinds of good traps to find out who people really are. I've taught them all to my boys, too. They know my traps. So I got good traps to find out who people really are. Hopefully I'm doing a good enough interviewing process to find that. You ever been to a concert? I've been to a concert 3 times, all to the same person. That's Lorena McKennett. I saw her in concert 3 times. ISFJ. Ah, I can't remember if you have an ISFJ or not. I'd be upset if all I heard about was her. Okay. I wouldn't be all that I talk about. There's a new wife is perfect. That's what I'm praying for. Amen, Stidham family. Boy, I like you. You and me get along on so many issues. Can't immediately go, why is INTJ like Tom? I like to think that. INTJs are known for being arrogant, though. So maybe I think I'm too awesome. ISFJ is Asher, I see. The Defender. INFJ. See, I think INFJs must be drawn to this channel. Like Andrea was an INFJ, and if I went down there and stacked up all the books she bought about self-help, self-growing the family, how to deal with the family, how to, different things for improving our family, it would be our entire library down there of those types of books. That's all she did. And so with that in mind, she has the channel, and then I think other INFJs seek out advice for family and growing family, and I think that they grow together. Because INFJ, I keep thinking it's supposed to be the rarest type, but it's about all I see. Lorena McKenna is ridiculously awesome. I love her. INFJ, another one. It's just pretty funny. Oh, that's pretty funny, Nathan Ramirez. Yeah, no thanks. Sees ya. That may be true. INFJs are drawn to Andrea. My family has grown, but I still learn so much from Andrea. Just did the test. INFJ. See, it has to be the case. One of two things. INFJs are drawn like a moth to the flame to this channel, or INFJ is not the rarest personality type. Those are the only two options in my mind. Found a new partner. What's something you'd want them to be okay with keeping that Andrea implemented? I can say this with no arrogance in my heart, that the methods that Andrea has in place for large family in our place, it is the best way to do it. I can say that complete honesty without anything. So we've tried everything. We've tried all the different systems, and we've streamlined things. Many of the systems, if not most of the systems we have in place, are simply the best way to deal with a large family issues. So it's not a matter of not wanting to get rid of them. It's going to keep you from going crazy. So I don't think that would go away. I think you're maybe right, Mandy. Yes, that's what I tend to lean towards. Tammy Kitty is an INFJ too. It's just hilarious. Yeah, the whole population of 1% is INFJ. Yeah, they're all here right now. All 577 of you. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Isn't that the truth? What's the purpose of you all wearing the same colored shirt? Just as a kind of a team thing. It's fun to, when you have a big family, you all walk out. If you're all wearing the same color, everybody's like, oh, what a beautiful family. They're so cute, all dressed the same. If you don't, and they're all wearing different kinds of shirts, and not always, but you get a bunch of oohs and ahs and you get sympathy. Whereas normally when people see a big family, I think their initial reaction is more on the negative side, actually. But when they see the colored shirts, it works. Plus, it's easier to see people in the crowd. It's nice, and it's like having a team shirt. When you're stalking, you be careful. Andrea was very, very intelligent. Yes, she was. We had a lot of fun. We both did our IQ tests, and hers was 2 points ahead of mine. And she got invited to Mensa. We both did, but hers was 2 points higher than mine, and she never let me hear the end of it. It was so funny. I can hear her saying it now. So funny. Vacation once had on my kid wearing neon yellow shirts. Andrea hated neon. I love neon. Ooh, the chat stop? Or did our stream go down? Hello? Oh. Somebody else moved. Oh, there it goes. I'm the same as Asher. Totally good as quiet personality. Okay, there you go. Keep those wonderful thoughts, Andrea. Isn't that the truth? When I see really large families, I think, oh my God, the parents must be so tired. I think they're all taking the test. Maybe you're all INFJs anyways. You all got to come back here and say you're INFJs. ISFP. Go to the other one. That one there actually has a better test. JK, people pleaser, huh? The questions are a little more gray on the 16 personalities one. We've found that the human metrics test is a better job at deciding. Human metrics. So it's up there. I was always want a large family. That's another reason that's drawn to this channel. INTJ. Oh, what? Yep, INTJs, baby. Extrovert of some sort. I'm very outgoing. Yep. See, that's the kind of thing. It probably is true. You're an extrovert. It's a difference between an extrovert, an introvert, and an extravert or introvert. So it's different. It has to do with the way you think. It doesn't necessarily mean you're shy or not shy, although it can. So, like, I'm introverted, which means I have extroverted thinking. That means my thinking processes. When I think about things and how they relate to other people outside, how I can solve that problem over there, how I can help that person over there, or whatever. Introverted thinking is thinking about myself and how things relate to me, how that situation is going to affect me, and what I'm going to do about that situation. So it has to do with how you think more than human metrics. So Thomas, look at Thomas's link, not mine. You might get a virus if you go to mine. INTJ every time I've taken the test. Me too. I'm like wild off the charts INTJ. So I've never ever gotten anything different. So some personality types, I can't remember now which one it is, but some personality types have a hard time typing themselves because they see themselves differently. And there's some types that have a mask. They kind of wear a mask, and so they don't know what type. They don't know what they are. So some types are hard to type themselves. It's easier sometimes to have somebody else answer the questions for you. Like if you have a spouse, they can almost always answer the questions very good for you. How long does the test take? Not that long. 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Virtuoso. I don't know the names of those. I just know the letter combinations. INFP. I think outside the box. Worked in nursing for years. Yep. So yeah, I think it a lot of times does say the E types are definitely seem to be more extroverted. So ENFP is what Justus is. They're the party animals. They love that. It does have some overlap to that situation, but it's not exactly accurate that way. We'll see ya. Aloha, Susan. How long have we been on? 2 hours, 20 minutes. I think it's at the point where I start to feel guilty. We've been on too long. I probably better wrap this up. Grandma Fern. Oh, what was Grandma Fern? Claudia, ISTP, yeah. INFJ. I think it is. INFJs are concerned about the well-being of the world and other people. They want to go out and fix the world, plan to change the world, make the world a better place. And by world, I mean the people outside of them and around them. Not necessarily the world. Some people feel it on that grand of a scale. But a lot of them are just, again, towards their families. They want to make their families a better place. They want to care about their families, what their family thinks. They want all their family to harmonize and to be great together. So that's what they're concerned with. So I do think they do definitely gravitate towards this channel. Andrea is an amazing lady. She literally saved my life 2 times. I was blessed to have known her, and now I have the chance to meet you and the kids. That's awesome. How would Claudia or Sophia take this quiz? See, that's the thing. Is once you start knowing about it very good, who's the guy Andrea liked? Frank James is INFJ, who was really fun to watch, but the other guy was C.S. Joseph. So if you look up C.S. Joseph on YouTube, he goes into it ridiculously deep. So it can be broke down much further than that. And so it's easiest to type people and kids by their negatives, by the bad things about their personality. So it helps you be able to type them and figure them out simply by knowing the personality types. It's not a matter of going to the test and figuring out what you are. It's knowing how it all works and how that person thinks that you can figure out what the kids are. Good question, though. Well, I feel guilty. People don't have to be here if they don't want to be. It's true. Some Myers-Briggs types tend to be more anxious than others. I think that's absolutely true. But anybody can be anxious and worrisome, so everybody can struggle with the same things. And you also can change your spots. So they have 4 things. You have 4 things that you're really good at. Intuition, I think, is INTJ's top one, and but you have things that you're weak on. But you can cover those bases, especially as you get older. You learn where your weaknesses are, and you learn to temper those weaknesses, and so you can become a more balanced person and actually start to exhibit traits that's not part of your typical personality type. I know I struggle with being arrogant, and so I work on that, and I try not to be arrogant, and so I'm able to get around it fairly well, but even though that's still my proclivity to go that way. I got INFJ from Human Metrics. Thought it was ISFJ. My brain hurts. Uh-oh. See, Tora? It's not uncommon. Again, the test on Human Metrics is a better test. So I've known lots of people that have taken the 16 personalities one and got it wrong. So, oh yeah, we know about narcissists. That's for sure. Andrea was obsessed with talking about narcissists because we run into several of them, and so it's always good to know. It's definitely something to be wary of. Help me to understand why I needed a lot of alone time, for sure. ENFJ, interesting. That's a common type, but that explains why me and you can talk. You're not afraid to talk. I'm not afraid to listen. I almost married one. Yeah, narcissist is that's a trap. Which of the kids are INFP? You'll have to ask Rachel Day. I'd have to look it up. I'm going to take it. The suspense is killing me. Well, let me know what you get, Tweety Babies. I enjoy your live chat on this Saturday night and love watching the kids opening gifts. Well, thank you, Kathy. I'm glad you stopped by. Papa's INFP. Thomas Beater. Who took the test in INFJ? See, tell me it's the most rare type. That's the kind I keep thinking, but that's just the people we have around, so it's got to be rare. But not here. Don't ever feel guilty because we are here because we want to be. You're not arrogant. You're just stating true facts. Arrogance is, in my opinion, allows nothing to change. I think that way, Tammy. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know that that's what I struggle with, so I think I compensate for it. The thing about INTJs is they know they're right. They think they're right all the time, but they question themselves more than anybody else. So they question their own thoughts and processes. But when they finally work it out, they're certain about it. You want to really have fun, there's a bunch of videos on YouTube, whatever your type is, like INFJ in 5 minutes. So look up INFJ 5 minutes, and you'll find a video there about it, what INFJs feel and do. And I'm an INTJ, you can do INTJ, whatever you do. And so it tells you, it's really fun to watch. It tells you what kind of person you are. they're people that you're in common with. Hitler was supposed to be an INFJ, so yeah, but Gandhi was also an INFJ, so funny things like that. I don't remember ISFJs, so they tend to want they're quiet. I think you're a very humble person, Tom. The only people think you're arrogant are trolls. Well, that's amazing. Do you think mood during the test can change the outcome? It shouldn't. You should. Hopefully, you can honestly say, assess yourself and put the things that are true. But I imagine it could, especially if you're somebody who's maybe influenced by emotion. Could possibly do it. Sure, Kayla, that makes sense. It's fun. All you guys are doing them right now. We're finding out what really is rare. And I tell you, we haven't seen very many INTJs. Sure seen a heck of a lot of INFJs. Thoughts on narcissism? People get offended when you talk about narcissism. Well, it's funny because you can talk about narcissism. Narcissists don't think they're narcissistic. So, Andrea loved to talk about narcissism. In fact, I'd be surprised if there's not some videos that address it. Safety of our home. I think that's probably correct, Lori. Bible says, be still and know. Absolutely does. Maybe that answers my question, Tammy. INFJs or ISFPs? I think that's probably true, Thomas. ISTJ here, Inspector. You take the test a few different times to see if your results are consistent. I've taken them a few times, but I'm always so INTJ, it's not even close. Andrea's the same thing for INFJ. But there are some people I think that straddle the fence maybe between a couple. And then again, there are certain personalities that have they're more prone to lie about themselves. I know that sounds terrible, and so they don't answer the questions honestly. And how many homeschooling crunchy large families are INFJ? Probably a ridiculous amount of them. Probably a ridiculous amount. If it's any mirror of what we have here with INFJs being all over the place, yet the rarest types, and you guys are all females, which is even the rarest of the rare. Think about the 4 temperaments. Have you done that? No, I've heard about that, but I haven't done it. Good night, Kate. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry to keep you up. Explain this question. You value justice higher than mercy. Ooh, that sounds like a Tammy Kitty question. You value justice higher than mercy. There's a place for both. So I have a hard time. Only 1% of women are INTJ. Oh, that's curious. ENFJ. Papa Doug, I think, is ENFJ, my stepdad. I believe they are very no nonsense. Just tell it like it is. Tend to hurt people's feelings. Enneagram. I know what that is, but I can't think about it now. It fell out of my head when you said that. I think Mom actually said that female INTJs are more rare than INFJs. I thought she said INFJs were the female INFJs were the rarest. We can't ask her now. Being 33, newly single, no children to hope for, a family someday. It was just comforting to watch Andrea. Wow. That's awesome. ISFJ. Ah, nice, Heaven. The difference in the Greek to what would have been learned in our generation from a non-denominational Christian school? I think, unfortunately, Bible translations you have to. It's not a matter of there being wrong. You get to a certain word that could mean several things. The intention is, do you want to translate the word as translated, or do you want to translate it in the way that the author probably meant it? And so when you don't know, you have to take a stance on what you think they're saying. And I think more often than not, they'll read in doctrine. It's called eisegesis. But it's difficult in translation to do. So have anything changed? The Greek hasn't changed at all. But what people, maybe the author has meant by the Greek, I do think that it's different. That's why honestly, the reason why I learned Greek so I could read the Bible in Greek was because it was a BS detector. I can't tell you how many preachers I heard say something like this. This verse says, love your neighbor as yourself. But if you look at the Greek word there is blah, 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 and it actually means you should kill your neighbor 5 times a day and eat him with a steak. And, it's like they'll take a verse, turn it totally upside down on its head, all under the Greek. And people go, oh, did you know that? I didn't know that. And that they'll go spout it out, and that makes me madder than anything. And so I immediately said, I am going to learn Greek to call all these BS pastors out. And I did, too. Are you going to start introducing Greek words into Wednesday night Bible study? I think I should, Tammy. I think I should. I have a video that says if you look for Tom Mills, how to speak Greek, you can go right into my description there, and I have my flashcards that I made and created for learning the pronunciation methods that Jesus used for pronouncing Greek, and that's the first step to learning about how to do Greek. But we can certainly talk about it. That'd be a lot of fun. Our school taught us what the words meant. We have Bible study every morning and shop all Wednesday. That sounds like an ACE school. That's awesome. Great school. Copy paste my results. Oh. Slight preference, intuition over sensing. What was your letters? Moderate preference of feeling over thinking. I, F, J. Intuition over sensing. Moderate preference of feeling over thinking. I, F. Missing one there. My stepmom took Hebrew language classes a year ago. That was always, Tammy, you got to be, did you tell me what you were? INTJ people love to learn new languages. So I don't know if that's you or not, but I think that's curious. I was going to do Hebrew. My always goal was New Testament's written in Greek, Old Testament's written in Hebrew. So I should learn Greek and Hebrew. And so I started, gospel is the most important thing that there is. The gospels, out there, the meat and the milk. And so I said, I'm going to learn Greek first. So I learned Greek and did all my research and my hardcore study on it. And that's when I learned and came to the realization that Jesus spoke Greek, the disciples spoke Greek, the Bibles they had were Greek, and they did not have the Hebrew Masoretic text. When I learned that, it took all the desire to learn Hebrew away. Maybe someday I would, if I get to the time where I have nothing to do in life and I can just retire or whatever, maybe I'll do it then. But I'd much rather just continue mastering Greek. Oh, hi, Melina. Good to see you. I don't think I've ever caught you in a live, have I? I forget what time is it where you're at. Got to be a different time. Bilingual. I mean, I can call myself bilingual. I can understand Spanish all right, and my life depended on it. I could probably say some stuff, but I don't know if it counts as being bilingual. Same as Asher, ISFP, I think. Like the INFJ personality type. ENFJ is one of the rarest of the 16 types, comprising about 2-3%. Oh, really? Like the INFJ. Oh, it's tied. 2-3% of the population. Interesting. Let's take the test, but logs on the sides is not too because it's too long. It's going to be ENFP, Sarah. Something like that. INFJ speak 5 languages, trying to add Greek and Russian right now. Wow, that's awesome. You're intuitive, so that's incredible. 5 languages. I'm so jelly. Speaking American Sign Language and read, write, and written English. That's awesome. All right, I'll write it down again. Thomas, you still on? Paste that metrics again, if you can. What's one dream you won't stop working towards? Raising a godly family. And by godly family, I mean not just my generation, but 2 generations from now, 5 generations from now, 10 generations from now. I want the Mills family to be a godly family for infinite generations after me. So that's my ultimate long-term goal, is to figure out how to make that done. That's what I've been working on. We're raised off Columbus to learning English. That's awesome. ISFP on both tests. Well, that's probably what you are. Your work will bless many through your children, Tom. That's why we have the YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is part of that dream. It's the way to continue teaching the family after. Imagine right now if you had a video message from your great-great-grandfather. Would you watch it? You're darn right you'd watch it. I use the broken watch analogy. I have a broken watch. Do you want it? Nope. I have a broken watch that used to belong to your great-great-grandfather. Do you want it? Yep. I'll fix it. Refurnish it. Spend $1 million getting it ready again. Why is it? Why is it that when somebody dies and they go into our past, they become more valuable and wise? Might have been a jerkwad, but he was my great-great-great-grandfather. So we have this here now. So I like to think in the future, our life, all this, my wife dying, maybe this will all be here for my great-great-great-grandson. He's going to go through the same thing, and he's going to learn how to deal with it because of me. So most of our gospel music shows on YouTube for the future also. Exactly. We live in a very interesting generation. We can send messages to the future by doing this. And it's just me being lame, sad, crying my eyes out. But if I can be honest, brutally honest with what I'm dealing with, then it's going to help somebody in my mind, in my family. And then if it helps other people too, that's great. That's awesome, Torah. Both my parents passed yesterday in a car crash. This is what I needed to hear today. Oh my goodness, Caitlin. Oh my gosh, that's so terrible. How old are you? That's got to be a terrible situation. I'm so sorry. I have nothing comforting to tell you, so if what I'm saying is comforting, praise God for that, but that's so terrible. It hasn't even hit you yet, if that's the case. Wow. Lucky to be in films because I'm archived forever. What are you in, Katie? ISFP, INFP. That's such a terrible thing. That's way worse than me. At least they went together. I was always sad to hear about all those. There's always all those situations where a wife dies, and then old wife, and then very shortly after the husband dies because he can't take it. Emotionally just dies. That's so sad. I dread my great-great-grand seeing some of my videos. I've literally called on God to show me a better way. Throw it in my lap. Time is ticking. It doesn't slow down for anyone at 41. Long to fix. Well, that's the way it goes, though. That's the way it goes. I thought I had life licked. I thought I had the best life ever. I had it by the horns. And then Andrea died. And I still think I kind of do, but not like I did. INTJ, look at that. Another INTJ. Bonnie's an INFJ. Interesting. You know, when the husband died at the wife's funeral. Yeah, you hear about that all the time. It always seems to be that way. That the wife dies and the husband dies like right after or the same year or something. Very common. Oh, I'm glad you liked the Christmas video. It was fun to do. I did a Mo Flanders in 1996 TV, and I've done music videos as well as a feature film working on my own project. Wow, that's super cool. She's 20. I didn't see her say that. Oh, man, Caitlin. Oh, man, that's so hard to deal with. At least they raised you. That's what I think about in my own family. I think about Asher and Judah and Thomas. They got all of our teachings, me and Andrea's combined teachings. And the little ones aren't going to have that. They're going to have the videos. And I know what Andrea would say, and I'm going to tend to put that into them. But we're staying pretty consistent tonight. Tana put her tablet down. She's so good. She does not want to. She had it this morning. I ended up taking it away from her because she'd sit there all day. You're doing life together. You're doing great, but adjusting depending on yourself is the hard part. Yep, no doubt, Marissa. My granddad died a year after my grandmother. He didn't want to live anymore after she was gone. See, I hear that all the time. I'm lying to you if I wasn't afraid of myself. I hear that story all the time. They always say that supposedly it's harder for, when someone dies, it's harder for the man than the woman. I don't know if that's true or not, but I read all kinds of stuff about it. And for whatever reason, that tends to happen. Jesus spoke Aramaic. Yes, he did. And Greek. That's why he called him Peter. Peter is a Greek word, Petros. It means rock. But he also called him Cephas, which is Aramaic for rock. So came both of those. Cardiomyopathy, broken heart syndrome. That's what I was worried about when my chest hurt. Did I tell you guys that? I think I did. Did I tell you that? After Andrea died that morning, I went in to have you looked at because my chest hurt. And it wasn't that, so. Well, it means the Simon portion of his name. I don't remember what Simon means, but he renamed him Cephas. That's actually one of the ones. There's a few puzzles because the thing with Aramaic is similar to Hebrew. It's similar, but it's not exact. And there's different places. Same with the Greek. So it's hard to tell. But like there's that verse where you are Peter, and upon this rock I'll build my church. That verse is using two different Greek words. It says, you are Petros, you are Peter, but upon this rock, Petra, I will build my church. Two different words, Petros and Petra. Petros is a stone you can hold in your hand. It's a wobbly rock. And Petra is like a foundational rock, like a mountain of rock. So only Greek has that kind of comparison. There isn't a word in Aramaic for wobbly rock and stationary rock, neither that or Hebrew. So Jesus definitely spoke Greek. But when he went to the synagogue ruler's home, he said Talitha kum, which is Aramaic for little girl, get up. So he definitely spoke Aramaic and Greek. That's why the sign over his head was in Aramaic, Latin, and Greek, 3 languages of that time. Do you believe time heals all? Maybe it's time wounds all. I heard someone say once, time wounds all heals, and I like that. Is that hair? Yep, that's Andrea's hair. They're allowing me to take guardianship over my brothers. Not sure how to raise them. Wow, that's awesome. Yep, if you're going to be together, you'll be all right. I know it seems weird. I don't know how many siblings you have. I missed that. But Andrew's got all kinds of videos on how to handle lots of kids, whether you have just a few or a lot, and how to deal with it. And it really helps. I swear to you, the way she has our systems is the way to do it. So check out. Oh, man, Stidham family, you opened up a can of worms. I want to talk about it because it's a passionate topic for me, but I can't say it, especially when somebody said they named, when Caitlin said that named her kid Yeshua. Yeshua is the Aramaic version of Joshua, which is what Jesus' name actually would be in Hebrew, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to pass. It's a fun topic to talk about. The reason is they go back to I can't. It's so tempting. Yeah, it's I think you're on my page, Stidham family. There's no document ever anywhere that called Jesus Yeshua. Never has been one. So if Jesus spoke Hebrew and if his parents spoke Hebrew, they would have called him Yeshua. But if he spoke Greek, they would have called him, well, Jesus. So, anyways. The only reason why I say it is there's a verse that says, "It is by the name of Jesus that you are saved. There is no other name by which we can be saved." So, now it's fair to mention that the Greek word for name, onomos, and onoma, it's the same word for reputation. So when someone says name, that word really is, oh, thank you, Tammy. That really is reputation. That's why people's names change in Bible times, because if their character, if their reputation didn't match the name they were given, they changed it to match their character. That's why Jesus renamed Simon Peter. That's why Jesus called them Boanerges. That's why he did those things. So it means reputation. So when it talks about the name of Jesus, it's not just talking about his literal name, J-E. It's actually I-O. There's no J in Greek. It's Jesus. Jesus. So it's not literally talking about his name saves you. In Revelation, it talks about, I will write on him my new name. It's talking about Jesus' reputation. But it was brought into English. Yes, Jesus, or is literally spelled out Greek and Aramaic as Jesus. No, there is no Aramaic. There's not a single Aramaic script anywhere. It's all Greek. If you go to my channel, Thomas, if you're still on, get my How to Speak Greek video and post it in the chat, because this is something I enjoy talking about. But it's all Greek. There are times in the Bible where it says, how Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, when Jesus said on the cross. The reason why it's telling us that those words written with Greek script is because they were speaking Greek and they transliterated it from what he said in Aramaic, because that's what he said at the time. They didn't do that with everything Jesus said. They only said it sometimes. So there's only certain times. Like when Jesus is on the cross, Aramaic was probably Jesus' first language. So that's why when you're on the cross, you don't think about, I'm hurting. How do I say I'm hurting in pain in this language? You translate. You always think in whatever your main language is. And that's probably your natural languages. Jesus' natural language was Aramaic. But a vast majority of the time, he spoke Greek because that was the language. You've heard of the term Koine Greek? It's actually Kune Greek. But Koine Greek, that means that's dirty. That's unclean. Unclean spirits, Koine spirits. So that's dirty Greek, unclean Greek that they spoke. That's the Greek that they spoke at the time. There was a higher Greek, a more refined Greek, but the Greek Jesus spoke was dirty, unclean Greek. He spoke the language of the people, and he taught them in the language that people would understand. And I can prove that from Scripture. So if you want to watch that video of Thomas Gets It, oh, there it is. You got it. Thank you, Thomas. If you watch that, I give all my proofs, and I think they're pretty ironclad of the fact that Jesus spoke Greek primarily. And there were times when he spoke Aramaic, but it was scattered and rampant. So no, it wasn't. Some towns would have spoke Aramaic. Other towns spoke Greek. And some spoke Latin. Again, that's why they made the sign over Jesus' head be in those three languages, because those are the languages that everybody understood. I spent a lot of time in history on the name of Jesus. It's absolutely fascinating in Greek. Absolutely. And again, you have that verse, Peter says, where it is by the name of Jesus you are saved. There's no other name given to men by which you can be saved. And so I normally don't make a big deal about the Yeshua thing. But when we have that verse saying that's the name we were saved by, and of course it means reputation. It means his reputation. It doesn't mean Jesus saves us. It doesn't mean that. But we still have that verse. And there isn't a single script, paper, or manuscript that says anything about Yeshua. So maybe some people called him that, but we don't have any record of it. If Jesus spoke Greek, why do they call him the King of the Jews? Because he was the King of the Jews. Jew is a race. You don't speak Jew, right? So Jew is the race of people, and those people were Hebraic. That comes from they were from Hebron. That's originally what it started from. The city of Hebron. That's why they're Hebraic. But it talks about there's a part in Acts 21 where Paul is caught by the Romans, and they're leading him away because they're going to stone him. And Paul says, "May I say something to you?" And the Roman guard who's got him, he says, "Do you speak Greek? Aren't you the Egyptian that led 100 men out to the wilderness some time ago?" He says, "No, I'm a Jew from Tarshish in Cilicia, a citizen of no ordinary country. Let me speak to the people." So he lets them talk to the people, and they're throwing rocks. They're saying all these things. They're wanting to stone him. And then it says, and then he spoke to the people, and in the Greek it says, Hebreas the dialecto. That means the dialect of the Hebrews. Hebrews were the people. The dialect, Hebreas the dialecto, is the dialect the Hebrews people spoke. That's the language of the Hebrews, which would have been Aramaic. And it says, when they heard them speaking Aramaic, they got very quiet. So that says that they shut him up, because Paul switched languages. He was speaking Greek. That's what the Roman guard told him. Do you speak Greek? And so then when he changed to Aramaic, they shut up. And that's indication pretty positively that they were not used to hearing Aramaic. That was an out of the ordinary situation for them to all shut up from about wanting to stone him. Instantly shut up. That was a big thing to them. So J is a relatively new letter. Absolutely, there is no J in the Greek. It's I-O, yo. So it's more like Jesus, like the Spanish. It's I-O is how you say the J. It's a soft. Yo, Jesus. Actually, it's I-eta, not I-O, I-eta. Jesus. If you believe we are in the last days, I have a video on that. You can check it out. If you look for Tom Mills, End of the World, you will find my video on that topic. I enjoyed listening to you talk something you're also passionate about. I am very passionate about. I haven't looked at a single comment since I started talking about that. I totally ignored it. So Jews in Jesus' day would have primarily spoken Koine Greek versus Aramaic. That's why the New Testament was written in Greek. Absolutely. It depends on the village we're talking about. So you can see in certain places, in certain villages where he went, he has more things that it says. Because every time he talks in Aramaic, it says in Aramaic. When they brought Jesus out to be judged, it says he took them to the place in Aramaic is Gabbatha, which is called the stone pavement. So every time he speaks Aramaic, it tells us in Greek. It's written in Greek, so using Greek alphabet to write out Aramaic words, transliterated. And so there's a few times that it does that. And when he's in certain villages, it's done more. So there are certain villages, I think, where most people spoke Aramaic. And so when he was there, he spoke Aramaic. But the vast majority of the time where he was at, if he was going to pick one language that everybody understood, he would have spoke Greek. Jesus' name was Yeshua. He was a Jew. Now, again, you can't find any document that says that. Not a single piece of paper in all of human history says Jesus' name was Yeshua. Jews spoke Greek in that day and Aramaic. They did not speak Hebrew. Hebrew was lost in Babylon. You can read that in the Bible. When they came out of Babylon, it says half the children did not know the language of Judah. So, and that's the thing. I don't mean to offend you, Anaha. Is that Anaha? Anaja? I don't mean to offend you. That's why a lot of times I let that question die on the vine. But I like Stidham family, and it was a fun question. I wanted to talk about it, so I did. But so if you think it was Yeshua, that's fine. I don't mean to say that to change your mind on that. He was a Jew. He didn't speak Jew. Jew is not a language. So whatever language you are, you don't have to speak that thing. The Hebraic people they were the Hebraic people, and for a long time they spoke Hebrew. But after Babylon, that changed. They started speaking Aramaic instead of Hebrew. Even the Pharisees spoke Greek. And again, the scroll when Isaiah, where it says, this is fulfilled today. This is fulfilled in your hearing. I have sent you to be a light to the peoples. Blah blah blah. A broken reed he will not break. And it says he unrolls the scroll. If you compare that with the Septuagint, that scroll that they had in the synagogue, in the Jewish synagogue, was Greek. It was a Greek scroll. So that shows how long it had been that way. It had been that way a long time. It wasn't just a new thing. They had spoke Greek so long that their Bibles were Greek. Their scrolls were Greek. Everything they used was Greek. That's how ingrained it was at the time. Absolutely, tweeting and babies. That is 100% the reason why I like to do it. What is that, Thomas? You're laughing when you say it. How many books were removed from our Bible? Yes, it was all at some meeting. Council of Trent started it. But you have to think, now, would God have protected it? Did God want those changes to be made? Did he want to lose those books? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. So I think you can't answer that question. The best thing about those lost books is to read them, do research on them when they were written and when they came to be, and just decide for yourself if they're right or not. My dad is Jewish. That's awesome. Oh, that's the banana one? Oh my gosh. Andrea would laugh to death at that. I think I shared that I was going to make a video of all Andrea's best videos. Then I thought, I'm going to get in trouble just ripping people's YouTube videos off, so I'm not going to do it. But I do have that video almost made of all Andrea's super funniest things she ever saw on the internet that would make her die. She'd always tell me, you're going to make me die if you show me that video. Thoughts on the Rapture Judgment Day? Again, if you look at my, we're going to talk about that in the Bible studies too. If you keep tuning in on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, we will continue. We eventually get to that point where we talk about that stuff. But if you want to know now, I have a thing about it. Tom Mills, End of the World. If you do a YouTube search up on the top, put Tom Mills, End of the World, you'll find my video about it, and I talk about it quite in depth. Boy, I don't want to get to 3 hours because people will say, you got to talk for 3 hours, you don't care about your kids. They're in bed right now, by the way, except for Thomas. Jesus was 12 and founded the temple. What were the teachers amazed by? I think it's his knowledge, his wisdom. I think it says that. Remember, they were offended about him over and over again. Where did this man get all these things without having studied? Obviously he did study. I honestly think he did. He wasn't born knowing that knowledge, even though he was God. He wasn't born knowing it. I think he studied a lot. Oh, there's my video right there for the end of the world. I think that would be fair use. It might be. It might be. I'm tempted to do it and just not monetize it and just put it out because Andrea would just love it. Is Greek older than Hebrew? No. Hebrew is definitely older than the Greek. Oh, you know what? I take it back, though. It's been around a long time. That's a good question. I think Hebrew is older. But Alexander the Great, that was a long time ago. But I don't know. There was Proto-Greek societies. I think Hebrew is older. That's a good question, though. I don't know what happens when saved and non-believers die. Well, good and bad things. That's some intense background in that video. Yeah. Yep. That's supposed to grab people, get them in. Ignore those trolls. They've had a fraction of the wisdom you have. Aw, thank you. In-depth and important subject to you. Oh yeah, I get all worked up when I talk about the Bible. I love it. Can you expand? I'm interested. Well, I don't know, and I can't tell you for certain. I can tell you what I think. I think that, well, the believers go to heaven and non-believers go to hell. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said it. That is what I think. But I'm not the judge, so it doesn't matter. That's the reason why I say I shouldn't say it. I'm not the judge. I can't control those things. I don't even know. I've never been dead before. So I can just tell you what I think. Hard to not be passionate about the Bible. Struggles in good times. Yep, that's true. I know thousands of questions about the Bible. I don't even understand half of it, if that. Why not say it? Well, because there are certain topics that aren't very fruitful. Let's just talk about the possibilities here. The possibility is universalism. Everybody goes to heaven, doesn't matter what. What you do, what you believe, everybody goes to heaven. Possibility of annihilationism, where everybody just disappears when they die and no one go anywhere. Or traditional view, believers go to heaven, non-believers go to hell. Those are the three options. Can I change the truth of the matter? Nope. If it were true any one of those three ways, would I live my life any differently? And me, I wouldn't. Maybe some people would. It doesn't. If I change your mind from any one of those to another one, does it serve any real purpose? And it doesn't really. But it's one of those things that make people really upset. It makes people upset and emotionally disturbed to talk about sometimes. And so I have decided that there are certain topics that only tend to hurt people and don't really serve any real benefit to anybody. It is a Christian job to lead people to salvation, though. Absolutely. But I have never been one of necessarily the way to save people is say, you don't want to go to hell, do you? You should be saved. I don't think that's a good way to save anybody. Although fear of hell and what salvation is intertwined with those things. But I think there are better ways to lead. Have any of your beliefs or views changed since your wife passed? Good question. But no, I'm quite staunch the same way. You read any other religious text out of curiosity? Well, Torah, because Torah's in the Bible. Book of Mormon. Yep, I have a Book of Mormon that I use when I talk to Mormons. I have not dabbled much in the Quran, but I wouldn't put it past me. That's the kind of thing I would do. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. That's good, Thomas. The Bible School years ago stated there were 3 different words that were all translated to KJV as hell. One of the text words translated as hell is actually. Yes, there are. And again, I could tell you all kinds of stuff about that, but I'd be very careful on why I say it, because again, it makes people upset, and I don't know that it accomplishes a lot. But there's the word Gehenna is mostly the word translated as hell, and there's a bunch of weird legends that are modern in nature that people have decided what those things mean. And I can talk about those things, but again, I'd rather talk about Bible study topics that can edify us and cause us to love people and to live our life for the Lord and not worry about things that I can't change, like judgment. I can't tell you who's going to go to heaven, who's going to go anywhere else, if anywhere else, because I'm not God and I don't know. I can only read and tell you what I think, but it doesn't really cause a purpose. That word actually meant grave. Well, Sheol in the Old Testament, yeah, Sheol is that generally is translated as grave, but Gehenna doesn't necessarily mean grave. It comes from a place in the valley of Ben Hinnom where they sacrificed their children in the fire to Molech. That's where it originally came from. But Jesus used it in a certain fashion, in a way. Serenity prayer, Dee Dee, exactly right. Oh, man. Yeah. I saw a nice play on it called the senility prayer for senile people, and I thought it was hilarious. I wish I could remember what it said now, but it was very similarly worded, but mostly really funny. Blessed in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. This is how he feels about the death of his own. Amen, Gina. That's correct. Yeah, exactly. Jesus does have great mercy, but you have to walk with him daily. Yep, I do believe that's right, Stidham family. It's a walk. You can choose to walk with him or not choose to walk with him. That's really what it comes down to. What if your kids believe in different stuff when they are adults? They are totally free to do that. But I've been a good teacher, and I think I've given them opportunity. We've talked about all the different options, and of course, every person is free to do whatever they want. We don't force our kids to believe anything. Good question, ma'am fan, for sure. See, that's the thing. Like Ruth B is talking about here, she has obviously very strong opinions about that topic, and it just hurts people to try to tell them anything different. And even if you convince them, you haven't made a friend. So I don't like to talk about it. I think you're right, Tweety Babies. I think if we're all honest, we all stray multiple times. Do you believe in speak? Oh, man. Tammy. That's another one of those messages, those topics that not a lot of good comes out of. So send me a message on Facebook if you want to know about it, and I'll tell you what I think. But that's another one of those topics that nothing really good comes out of. Can you end the stream at 5:30 a.m.? Oh my gosh, where are you at and what time is it? Yeah, I'm going to get off very soon. It's over 3 hours. This is probably the longest one I've ever done. My yoke is light. That's the truth. My father was a minister when I was a baby at Assembly of God Church. Yeah, I have a lot of friends who are Assembly of God, and I like debating with them too. My mom and grandparents is what they and no other, but I missed what you're talking about. Oh, I always catch you at the end. Oh, I'm sorry, Dee Dee. I'm all game for time. I'm already gone over the limit. I'm over 3 hours now, so the trolls are gonna all tell me that I don't like my kids because I talk for 3 hours sitting on a bed. But I'm already at 3 hours, so maybe I can stop at 3:30. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, building your watch time. Good talk. It'll be interesting to see the average watch time on this video. Do you consider yourself non-denominational? Good question. I used to. But I don't anymore because now non-denominational is a denomination. So I just am NA. I don't like, God doesn't call us different things. I didn't agree with my wife about everything. I don't expect to agree with all you about everything. And I think we need the permission and the freedom to disagree with people on all kinds of topics. I don't need to go start a new club for people that disagree with me, that people agree with me. I think that's the biggest mistake we ever did in Christianity, is color ourselves different things instead of just acknowledge that we all just see things differently. What advice would you give to someone in your shoes? I couldn't give any advice at all. I really couldn't. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know how to mess with it. I don't know. I'm not handling it, so how can I help somebody else handle it? I try to get distracted. That's all I can do. Water or the Holy Spirit? You don't have to answer this. Yep, I don't. I think me and you would get along, Stidham family. We could talk all day about a lot of fun things. And we might have to do that. You might have to hit me up on Facebook or something. But I have some opinions about that. But it is one of those questions. Again, I can't tell you who's going to heaven, who's going to hell. And so even if we iron it all out, it doesn't serve a purpose. And it's one of those topics, again, that people love to get upset about. Andrea 19. And my family is horrible about telling people they were going to hell. I don't agree with them. They mean well, though. They mean well. I've been there. I've been in that situation. But it's the wrong way to do it, I've decided. So maybe I'm wrong. But they mean well. Everybody means well. Everybody always does the best they have with the information they have at their disposal. Nobody's legitimately cruel most of the time. So they just do what they think is right. I can't possibly have morals or standards if I'm not religious. Sure you can. You can have morals. Everybody's got morals, whether you're religious or not. Your opinion, my opinion, and there's the one truth. We live a life trying to find that truth. Yeah, it's the search for that truth, I think, that is what we're talking about here, even if you don't get there. My 10-year-old has been begging me to take him and his brothers back to church. He says he misses his church family. I started to believe the lie. I was unworthy to be there. Yep, you're certainly not unworthy. I struggle with faith. Everybody struggles with faith, Jewel. Everybody does. And the ones that don't are lying. I have to watch my family be hypocrites all my life. Yeah, those are the ones that Jesus were careful about. You know, Jesus said, I have come to turn fathers against their sons, mother-in-laws against their daughter-in-laws, sisters and brothers. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. So that tends to happen. But just don't be a hypocrite yourself, I guess. It's difficult, but can't control other people. Jesus ate with the sinners, but he didn't eat with the hypocrites. It's 12:44. See you, Katerina. Nice to see you. Good to see you the day. Give you a shout out. There you go. Prophetic dreams possible or no? I do think so. I have had some that I think are prophetic. I've shared them with you guys. I don't think it's in the same capacity. I think prophets in the capacity that they existed in the Bible times probably don't exist today. That having been said, God can individually give prophetic anythings to anybody who wants to. But the office of prophet, I think, is not correctly around anymore. That's why I don't see that much, because I don't agree. You know what? That's not a bad thing. That's probably the way to handle things. Honesty is like a kiss on the lips. That's the truth. 8:44, where you're at, Melina. I was curious about that earlier. Just got back from the beach. Oh yeah, you're in Australia, huh? Do you believe that cardinals and dragonflies are angels coming to visit you? No, I do not. But it's a fun thought. Biblical standard for prophet must line up with God's word and must come true 100% of the time. That's the biblical standard for the prophet. If they're ever wrong, ever, they are a false prophet. But anyways, I could give you more reasons. We'll get to those if you keep in the Bible study about why I think the office of prophet is no more. That doesn't mean God can't do prophetic things. Or people making false claims and making profits is going to cause us to miss out on true messengers and prophecies. I think God gives them very rarely, and I don't think he gives them for the purpose that he used to give them. Signs and wonders and miracles were to prove the message that the disciples gave. That was primarily the reason for those things. So if God gives people those things now, it's not so they can tell the world how smart they are. So you be wary of anybody that says anything like that. That dream that I shared with you guys that I had, I've kept that private for 20 years. No, 17 years anyways. And I was never going to share it with anybody because it was not the purpose of it. But now it's coming. The time is now for what it was saying, and it's being fulfilled, if not fulfilled, and I'm okay with sharing it. But I wasn't raised religious, but your channel helped grow my faith. Well, that's awesome, Tara. That's quite a compliment. I don't feel it's my job to judge or to tell people they're going to hell. It's not. It's not your job. It's God's job to judge. And you know what? It's your job to sow the seed. So if someone comes up to you and says, "What do I do to be saved?" and you walk away, that's on you. But it's not your job to go bothering people and trying to shoot seeds down their throat. If you see an opportunity, then you use it. That's what the Bible says is not judging. True, I agree with that, Lisa. It isn't judging. But unwanted advice not only doesn't help the person, it doesn't do anybody any good. So if you see, the farmer sows his seed. Some falls on the path, some falls on the thorns, some falls in the rocky places, some falls in the good ground. You just throw it out when you have an opportunity. In the Good Samaritan story, you just don't go around the person that's down in your path. If you don't have someone down in your path, just keep right on going. All right, Stidham family. All right, I'm gonna call it quits. If they're going quits too, what time do we got? It's coming up on 3 hours 30 minutes, 12:48. Yeah, the dream was in a different live stream. You speak with an ease that is so calming. Well, that's amazing. Thank you. Jesus loved everybody, told them to turn from their sin. Yes, he did. Jesus was God, and you should tell people to turn from their sin. But the difference was they came to Jesus, right? Jesus didn't go into their house, barge down their door, and tell them to turn from sin. Jesus was out in the wilderness, and crowds of people came to see him. He told those people because they wanted to know. He didn't just offer it to anybody. He didn't go visit the Pharisees. He visited the sinners that wanted to see them. Zacchaeus, who climbed the tree trying to get a glimpse of Jesus. He went to his house. You know what I mean? So he didn't barge people's doors down. He didn't force his message on anybody. But if they were the slightest bit interested, he came to them. That's my boy, Thomas. That's amazing. Oh, he's not an organized religion. That is our choice. Absolutely, Amber. It's you off at 4 hours. Let's test it. Won't at the well, but I do know the truth. We are covered. We paid the price. That's awesome. I'm not falling asleep yet. I'm actually always up this late. Always. Thomas and Asher go to bed already? Have you felt the Holy Spirit? I think it's safe to say that I have. I've felt his, what I think it is. What is the Holy Spirit? Apart from all the things we talk about that, and we have verses about it, I don't think anybody really knows what it is or how it works. It's supposed to be a comforter, though, right? And I felt overwhelming comfort. So I can say that. So credit to you, Tom. My mom was in hospital, heart failure. I'm a wreck. Oh, Melina, I'm so sorry. That's terrible. We'll be praying for her. Well, there's some full-on questions there. I missed it. Here, what do you have to say about the Holy Spirit? I feel like I'm not versed enough. I could give you every verse in the Bible about the Holy Spirit, and I wouldn't still know what it is or how it works. I think the Holy Spirit is God's Spirit. But what it is and how it works, or all that, I'm in the dark. And I know all the studies, right? I can tell you all the people that talk about the Holy Spirit, and you can talk about all those things and those things that go with that conversation. But I'm not comfortable just declaring those things when I don't know if we can know that. I know it's important, and I know He gives the Holy Spirit to those that ask, and I know He comforts, and I know He can intercede with us with groans that words cannot express. I know all those things about the Holy Spirit that are said, but I still don't know what it is or how it works or exactly how that works. God said, let us. Yep, interesting. There's a couple places that He says things like that. Let us make God in our image. Let's go down and see what they have done. Why does it seem that it's more important than Jesus? Does it? I mean, there's definitely people that talk that way. But I don't know. I don't know. It may be. Now we see through a glass darkly, one of my favorite verses. God darkened the glass. He darkened the glass on purpose. He doesn't want us to have all the answers. He's God's Spirit that indwells us, but I don't know how it works either. Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, we can look up every verse that mentions the Holy Spirit, and I still don't think we really know what it is. I love what those guys said. Have you received the Holy Spirit? And he says, no, we haven't even heard there is a Holy Spirit. I think that's great. Super honest, and I'm sure they didn't know what it is either, and that just goes to show you it wasn't a common thing even at the time. So, veil will be lifted eventually. Well, yeah. Tune into the Bible studies. We'll talk about that. Read the Crandoo comparison. It will blow your mind. I'm aware of a lot of that stuff. I haven't actually done it. Oh, yeah, we did. That was at church last Sunday before, Thomas. Yep. We aren't meant to know everything. Amen. In fact, I'm very wary of anybody that seems to know. I like not knowing. Faith is the hope of things not seen. Yeah, that's what the Bible says. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's fun to say, fun to think about. How does that work and what does it mean? But it was fun, Thomas. I love the rain. Do you get much sleep? You talking to me? No, if it's talking to me, nope. I do not. I can't seem to stay asleep. I tried to sleep in today, but I just sat here awake. I'm okay not knowing a lot of things. In fact, I get great comfort, Pazim, that I don't know the things. That means it's true. Any religion that has all the answers probably isn't correct. The book's written by saints, isn't St. Padre Pio? I have not. You gonna make any more videos on our channel about your beliefs? I might make them on this channel. So I very well might. Yeah, I do have lots of secular music that I like. I like music a lot. Me and music get along. Second Timothy 3:5. Is that a baptism one? I can't remember. Well, all the answers. Even say to the Bible we cannot understand it all. Is it? It might be. But I think we're not meant to have the answers. We're not meant to. We do see through a glass dimly. We don't know what's going on. We don't even know if He's out there sometimes, right? If we're being honest, we all have those thoughts. And he wants us to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. It's a big deal. He doesn't want us to have perfect knowledge. Either I'm a terribly shallow thinker or you're regularly full of epiphanies or I'm just tired. Oh, that's funny. You went to Catholic Mass? If you did, how did you feel about it? I haven't. I haven't actually been there. I've seen some. Very formal and foreign to me, I guess. Even if I can't see her comments because she's blind. What? It would skew the lessons we are meant to learn. That's very possible. Yep. Why and how did you, Andrew, decide on home church? Well, we had left our church and we could not find a good fit. We could not find a church that we went to. Honestly, I have a problem with everybody. So, and we just didn't find a good fit. We didn't find a good fit. And so we decided to start doing it at home, and we just really felt like this is something. This is what we should be doing. We kept at it. The kind of Sia songs. I haven't actually heard. I don't know who that is, but I might. Kai is legally blind. She's mentioned a few times. Oh, I see. What theologians do you recommend? None of them. I'm a big fan of learn to read the Greek yourself. You can teach yourself Greek. You can do it. I did it, and you can do it too. Learn to read it and study it, the Bible, for yourself. Don't listen to anything anybody has to tell you. That doesn't mean that you can't learn things from people, but figure it out for yourself. The Bible is what you call a dead document. It's not being written anymore. It's finished. The Bible's complete. So it's not. You can find all kinds of people that can talk about it, but they don't have new information. They're just going back in the original information. I'm a big fan of do it yourself. God's past faithfulness demands my present trust. I like to remember that when I can't feel his presence. Yeah, I think that's true. That's a good one. I see. Yep. Makes sense. Where did you start with Greek? I have a whole video about it. So if you look at Tom Mills, why and how to speak biblical Greek, or if you just look Tom Mills biblical Greek, you'll find it. But start by learning the alphabet and how to pronounce it. After that, you can read words. Then you won't know what you're reading. Then you start memorizing vocabulary. And then you got to learn the endings. Please not Greek. I'm only just coping with preterism. Oh, it'll be coping with that for a while, so don't feel bad. You believe in visions and dreams? I believe that God can do that. I've had things like that. There's the Greek one. Thomas is on top of it. That's the verse. That's the one there about how you can go about learning Greek on your own, and how I would do it. Oh, there we go again. Are you going to get married again? I don't know. If God brings me somebody, then I want to marry. Don't understand the term, the Greek. Do you mean to find the Bible in Greek? Okay, good question. So the Bible we have today, any Bible you get, every Bible you get, it was translated from New Testament anyways. All from Matthew, all the New Testament, Matthew to Revelation, all of that is translated from Greek parchments. So the original manuscript, when the disciples wrote it down, they wrote it down in the Greek language. So what you read when you read your English Bible or whatever language Bible you read, you're reading a translation of somebody who could read the Greek parchment and they'd translate it and tell you what it says in our language. But they have to make judgment calls very regularly that make it not quite as clear to understand what is being said. So if you learn how to read the biblical Greek on your own, you'll have a one-up on those things. So that's why. Best place to start reading the Bible, I say, is in the Gospels. Start with the Gospels, and you'll be good to go. Yeah. Tweeting babies, that's great. Oh, yeah. I have a tendency to just answer whatever I read. Narcissists are attracted to religious people, easier to manipulate. That may be. That makes some sense. They can be. You won't find me easier to manipulate. Luke. Luke is awesome. He's my favorite gospel. John is also kind of a more magical gospel. Good place to start. Romans is a good place to start. Well, I do not think cover to cover. I don't think I think the Old Testament, the Old Covenant is the key to unlock the new one, to understand fully the new one. But if you never heard of it, never knew about it, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I say that very loosely because you should know about it. But start with the New Testament for sure. These two books left out of the Bible because they were deemed too mystical. Is that true? Yeah. I don't know. The Gospel of Thomas is one of the ones you're probably referring to. And there's good evidence to support the Gospel of Thomas was probably written much, much after Thomas, not written by Thomas himself or anybody else, yet purported to have been. So that's more of a reason not to trust it for that, not just because it's too mystical. They almost didn't put the book of Hebrews in. They almost didn't put it in because they didn't know who wrote it. And think about it, Hebrews is one of my favorite books. My favorite book in the New Testament. Oh, I see, Jasmine. Nice clarification. Religious, not people of faith. Oh yeah, I'm totally for that. I can totally see that. But again, people of that way are weak-minded to begin with, which is why they're being preyed on by narcissists. Were they not allowed to be used as a basis for doctrine if they left them out? Who makes those things up? We have all these creeds in Christianity, and while they were made out of a good place and they solve problems with their thing, it's just a bunch of man-made gobbledygook. So they have their own creeds. I'm not a big fan of organized, I say religion, denominations or faith or practice. We have the Bible, read the Bible, serve God, let the rest of it work itself out in the wash. How do you feel about the Ten Commandments? Do you feel that Jesus' commandment overrides them? That's a good question. So, yes, the New Covenant. What was the Old Covenant? Old Covenant, if you really get into it and look, the Old Covenant is the Ten Commandments. That's the Old Covenant. So there is a New Covenant. And Jesus' commandment does not override them, but he encompasses them. So, but yes, that's a tricky question. So I do not think the Ten Commandments are what defines sin like some people would. I think sin, Romans 14 says anything that's not done from faith is sin. So that encompasses all kinds of things. So we could have, that's a pretty deep concept. We could talk about that a lot. Oh, we can talk about weenuses again. Thomas, what are you doing? We found a non-religious church 5 years ago. So good. Oh, that's awesome. Old Testament was brutal. It's so funny. People talk about the Old Testament now. They stoned people. They did this and that. But it's like, you have any idea how old that document is? It's amazing. It's the most prevalent book on earth. And its age is so old. It's some of the oldest stuff we have of history at that time. It was a different world. Absolutely different world. One thing I'm learning is this. A church is a group of people, a noun by all means. So it's a place where broken people come to congregate. You're all broken one way or the other. Sure. I like that. All right. It's 1 o'clock. I'm gonna call it quits. Gonna do it. thank you guys all for watching with me. I'm not going to let it say 4 hours on there. So I appreciate you all. We'll do some more of these. Maybe I'll do one tomorrow. I don't know. I tend to be sad all the time, and it really helps me to not be sad. So I appreciate all you guys. So thank you guys. I'm doing it. I'm signing off. Thank you so much for all the conversation and the talk. And you can send me a message on Facebook if you want to keep talking. Talk to you later.